Tập trung lại nghe chứ Vinh.
If you're considering relocating to Cambodia, there's no better time than the present. The Kingdom of Cambodia is located in Southeast Asia, bordered by Thailand and Vietnam. Cambodia is a developing country with a growing economy. Cambodia offers an impressive and diverse environment, from the sprawling flat plains in the central region to the winding Mekong River, tropical rainforests, and mountainous regions, as well as the crown jewel of the Khmer Empire, Angkor Wat, an ancient city built in the 11th century by the Khmer Empire that brings millions of tourists to Cambodia each year and was recently voted one of the top 5 tourist destinations in the world. So whether you want to live in the bustling city of Phnom Penh or on the tropical islands of Coron, or if you even want to dwell among the temples of Siem Reap, Cambodia has something for everyone. But more importantly, Cambodia offers a great climate, a wonderful exchange rate, and most of all, the friendliest people in the world. Contact us today at Sincere Travel Services to schedule your consultation, and we'll help make your move to Cambodia as smooth and easy as possible.
Hey, what's going on? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's going on, everybody? This is Ed from Ed Travels. What is going on down in Albany? Shout out to my man Kevin. Jeff in Brazil, what's up, man? That's right, T on T. Time on target. 7 a.m. my time. Good afternoon, Saturday night jump. Hey, that's how we do it, baby. Absolutely, man. Salute to you too, brother. Salute, salute, salute. Man, today is a Friday free-for-all. Today is a Friday free-for-all, man. My folks down my folks down in Georgia, everybody know about Freaknik. All those people that was down there that knew about Freaknik. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. I got a couple of topics. Got my airborne stuff on for all my vets out there. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, even Coast Guard. Everybody works toward the same things. But, you know, to my airborne brothers, especially Jeff in Brazil. Shout out to my man in the room. R Jizzle in the building. R Jizzle in the building. What's going on, man? What is going on, bro? It's good to see you, R Jizzle. Hey, Rice Patty, man, you got to give a huge, man, Rice Patty. Truly enjoyed the conversation, man. You know, you're looks like I'm gonna have to make a stop over in Oceanside when I come back. What I love about just being able, let me take my skull out, being blessed to travel, get my O sheet, to travel is that I can stop in SoCal, you know, twist my arm to go to San Diego and check out my man probably on my way back to Cambodia, Rice Patty. I can go ahead and catch a flight out of LAX, you know, shoot over on Delta, catch a flight out of LAX, still keep it on Delta. But hey, I want to send a shout out to all you guys that cared enough to come out. Hey, everybody, please like. Let's get those likes up, man. Let's get that algorithm going, man. Hey, I had to talk about it tonight. It's a Funky Friday live stream. So it's gonna be some travel related stuff, but I really want to start it off because I ran across this video and I'll play it again, but I wanted everybody to see this because it was hilarious to me. So let me go ahead and do it this way.
Ain't got nothing like Freaknik no more, bro.
Why not?
Because all these hoes talking about I'm a queen, I know my worth.
I need to shut that shit up.
Yeah, come show that ass like your mama them doing.
Shake it.
And look at her, boy. Now that's natural ass right there. That's no BBL, natural ass. Ass got more dimples than a golf ball.
Let's go golf.
And look at her shaking ass in some wedges. These hoes can't even walk in wedges these days. Ooh, and she look at her. Ooh, that's where the twerking shit came from. Ain't coming there making a shot. That was a Tootsie Roll twerk. Damn, and look at her. Ass just moving like water.
Okay.
But I bet the face don't match though.
That do.
I bet it don't.
That do. Hey, that's your mama right there, bro.
No, that ain't my motherfucking mama.
And that's your auntie Cheryl right there.
That's not my auntie Cheryl. That is my auntie Cheryl. She
Hold on,
missing the
let me
side
push
too.
that back a minute.
Bet the face don't match though.
That do.
I bet it don't.
That do. Hey, that's your mama right there, bro.
No, that ain't my motherfucking mama.
And that's your auntie Cheryl right there.
That's not my auntie Cheryl. That is my auntie Cheryl. She missing the side too.
Damn.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Calling mama.
What are you calling me for? Matter of fact, I know what you calling me for. Don't call me asking me no questions about some shit I did 28 motherfucking years ago. Okay? I'm grown as fuck. You got questions? You call your auntie Cheryl and ask her. Because that's the bitch that took me down now.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
my motherfucking mouth and ass. I do what I want to do with it. At the end of the day, I'm still your mama. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't call me asking me shit about my goddamn past. I do what the
You shouldn't have been talking shit. You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Oh my goodness, man. I saw that today, bro. I couldn't help but laugh, man. Appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you, man. I'm getting a little bit better at it, man. I'm getting better at it. Hey, dude, that was hilarious, man. And the thing about it is this. Kevin Keys, thank you, brother, man. Let's give Kevin Keys a big shout out, man. Thanks a lot for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate it, bro. I truly appreciate it.
I'd buy that for $1.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Hey, man. Hey, greetings from NYA, man. Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I love North Carolina. I'm going to be there. My daughter graduates from A&T next month. So I'm going to be back in Fayetteville. I'm going to drive up to see her graduate. So I'll be there. Make sure you hit me up. Hey, what's going on? Hey, CJ in the building. CJ in the building. Oh, my friend. CJ. Absolutely love it.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
That's what I'm saying. All of those people that are suing. I mean, I just had to touch on this. I just had to touch on this because it is so hilarious to me that you actually got 5 women. All right. Now check this out. This is one of my favorite dudes. I'm not talking about Vlad. I'm talking about, that's a totally different subject. But I want to share this because I want you to hear. I really like DL's take on this. I love DL Hughley's take on this. I mean, I'm with DL on this. I'm with DL on this because there are speculations, there are unsubstantiated rumors that yours truly was at 1, maybe 2 Freaknik. I am not going to substantiate or deny that. Hey, to my man Jay Rizzle, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. I truly appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Building, Jay Rizzle, thank you. But there are some unsubstantiated rumors that yours truly, Ed Travels, Ed W, was at Freaknik. Yep, I was there. And I think it's important that I bring this up because in this world that we live in where things get convoluted and changed, it's important to make clarifications and make things clear. And my boy Kevin down at Albany says, whoever is the producer, did a very smart thing, label the documentary allows you. Exactly, folks are scared. Folks are scared, man, because now they the mothers of the church. They the ones locking people up for twerking.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they should, now they're afraid. I don't want it shown. But you heard what the mama said in the clip. She said, don't be bringing that up. I knew where I went, blah, blah, blah. But on a serious note, with the Me Too movement, I want to show both sides of it. Because over here at Ed's Travels, we're fair. And I want to give you some food for thought. Because there's a way that this, in my view, is going to try to be framed. There are going to be a group of people out there that are going to try to frame it some way different. So let's go with it. Let me see this. Let's go ahead and go with it. I want to. This should be playing right now, but let me go ahead and let this play. This is how it's going to be framed.
You mean to tell me that Freaknik got canceled because the women were being raped and essayed, and y'all worried about how the women are going to be perceived?
Hey, listen. 2 quick things I want to say right here. No one, especially not here, condones essay, grape anybody. You know, you got to use the word. Y'all know what I mean. But that's not what the documentary is about. More importantly, let me tell you about my experience at Freaknik. The first year that I went, I had a ball. It was fun. It was a party. Everybody's getting along. The high top phase. You got to talk about the 90s. Everybody was running around. Traffic was horrible. Me and my boys, we were hanging out with a friend of ours in Atlanta, who was our friend in Atlanta was what you call it? He was a postman. He worked for the post office. So this brother knew every back road so we could avoid the traffic. Now, crazy stuff went on. Now, did some women get essayed? Great. We heard about it when we were there. No doubt it happens. It happens probably at every spring break. Again, not condoning it, right? But to correct the second thing she said, that was not the main reason that Freaknik got canceled. And I'm gonna get to your super chats. That was not the main reason it got canceled. Mulatto Vanguard in the building. That's right, allegedly essayed. Oh yeah. Let me get to the super chats. I want to stay focused on this. That was not the reason, the only reason that Freaknik got canceled. Number one, Mayor Bill Campbell. I think he was on the city council. The first couple of them hung out with him, had a little something to sip with him right before he went to prison for whatever he did. We all make mistakes. But the people in Atlanta got mad about the traffic during Freaknik because you're dealing with a bunch of young black folks. They got upset. They complained to the city council. The city of Atlanta put extra, they approved over $300,000 in overtime for the police to keep the streets safe. There was the property destruction that was going on. People were destroying, looting, robbing, just doing ignorant stuff. It wasn't just what she's saying, but y'all got to be, you got to be careful. You got to watch how the community, some people in the community are going to try to deflect. How some of the people in the community are going to try to deflect it and make it just about what happened to the women.
What? Baby, y'all worried about the wrong thing. Some of our uncles and fathers is about to be exposed, and I'm here for every minute of it. I hope they show faces. Don't blur out nobody's face. I want names, faces, and location. Y'all worried about how black women are going to be portrayed. Baby, that Hulu documentary about to have black men looking like some straight sexual deviants.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? See, you can't have nothing. You can't have nothing. Because why does it have to be just about that? Why does it have to be the focus? Why do you have to try to change and deflect the real reason? And maybe she don't want nobody to see her. Maybe she don't want nobody to see her on there.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
She doesn't sound like look like a young woman to me. But you heard what DL said. Everybody tripped out. Everybody freaked out. That's what it was. The city started not wanting to give out permits because they were tearing the city up. I remember the last year I went to Freaknik, they created, and this is real talk, so I was there, allegedly. What they did is when you came off the downtown connector, 7585, like getting on Piedmont, for those people that are familiar with Atlanta, what the State Patrol and the City of Atlanta Police did is they made a big old, like a semicircle. You got off, you rolled through downtown, they put you right back on the downtown connector. Because how many people in here remember Underground Atlanta? Show your age. Show your age. Underground Atlanta. That's where people were going, hanging out. Then they started, robbing and looting and all of that kind of stuff. So there were a lot of factors to include what she said, but that wasn't the only factor. Let me get to these comments. Kevin down there, I'm gonna say who's ever. Yeah, it's Jermaine Dupree and Uncle Luke. That should let you know. Yeah, and labeled it a documentary. Hey, I'm visiting my son and his family at Fort Bragg. Hey, stand by. Hook up, check static line, check equipment, sound off for equipment check, Jump Master. Airborne all the way. What's going on, Mulatto Vanguard? What's up, my brother, man? Glad to have you in the building, man. Let's keep on going. Yep, they're going to say, yep, this will not take account. Yep, it won't. It won't take accountability away.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
It's not going to take accountability away. And that's what they're trying to do, trying to deflect. Eric, what's going on, man? Eric from Alaska in the building. All my people stopping through. And I went to Kappa 2001. Somebody recorded, and I don't care. Exactly. We've all had our past. Ain't that right, CJ? CA, she know what I'm talking about. We've all had our past. I'm definitely not the same man that I was. I am now than I was back then. But I think in this world that we live in now, where people are afraid to take accountability, they're afraid to take accountability for what happened. You were a child, you made different things. But now I want to ask you guys a question. I want to ask everybody a question. Let me send it quick. Mike Deasy, all the way, Jump Master straight. Hey, all my North Carolina is in the house deep tonight. I can't wait to get back up. I cannot wait to get back up there, man. Ride back through Fort Bragg, stop at the 82nd Airborne Museum and buy a whole bunch of 82nd Airborne stuff that I probably don't need. Oh, messy. Oh. But Sean Denise, thank you so much for stopping by. I know your schedule is busy. I want everybody to give a shout out. Please go to Mashawn Denise. I was watching her today. I was watching her. I was on her channel today, and I just want everybody, please stop by. Please stop by her channel. Click, like, represent, show some love. It's one thing about these YouTube streets is that we need to support each other. When I did my video about the evictions, that's something that Michonne Denise does on a regular basis. And what I love about her channel, and thanks so much for the $5 super chat. What I love about her channel is the fact that she just keeps it real. And then she laughs at herself and laughs at the comments and gets really upset because I'm a good mama. I can't do it like you do, but, I enjoyed it. And she also talks about holding ourselves accountable, not just one group of people. So thank you so much. Please stop by and check her channel out. I really, really, really do. And she is one of my favorites. And thank you so much. I appreciate you too. I really, really do. But she does it right over there, and people take accountability over there. We got kids, see? Me and Kevin roll in the same channel. And see, that's what's so beautiful about this space is the fact that why can't we all love and support each other? Everybody brings something different to the table. And, and I want to see how I truly want to see how this whole Freaknik thing goes out, because I'm kind of confused. Okay. Unless it's a PR stunt by the producers who want to bring more attention to the documentary by highlighting this quote unquote lawsuit or objection by these people. Because once you make it controversial, more people are going to watch it. Right? More people are going to watch it. But if you don't want your dirt shown, why even talk about it? Isn't that the first rule? Isn't that the first rule that if I don't want my stuff out in the street, then why am I going to bring attention to it? You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
You know what I'm saying? You're right. You shouldn't have been. My thing is this. We all grow. We all evolve. I'm not the same man at 52 that I was at 25, which happens to be how old I was at the Freaknik I went to, allegedly. But I had a good time. I'm unapologetic. I have great memories with great friends. Some of them I ain't even here no more. But I'll always remember that. Unfortunately, SA happened. great happen. That I think that happens at, spring break. It happens up, at bike week. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you get alcohol, young people, and bad decisions. Once you get all that mixed together, and you just got just rotten, dirty, nasty people in everything that you do. So I think for some of the people in the community that are coming out trying to do damage control, just like the video that I played earlier, when she was sitting there talking about, oh yeah, it's gonna be some brothers and uncles and all of that are gonna be exposed. Well, you know what? It's gonna be some mothers of the church. It's gonna be some school principals. Well, we already know how freaky those teachers are. I ain't gonna even get into that. Please check out Michonne Denise's live about them teachers, because they didn't make teachers like that when I was in school.
Hell no.
They did not make teachers like that at all.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And so now they're gonna try to deflect, change the narrative. I had a ball at Freaknik. If I was down there right now, they have Freaknik again, I would not. Oh. Let me tell y'all something. And since Michonne and to everybody else in the chat, I'm angry. They're disgusting, and I'm saying this as a joke, so don't take it seriously. But all of my teachers look like Bernie Mac when I was in school. How many of y'all teachers look like Bernie Mac? Put a 1 in the chat if you didn't have no fine teachers, or maybe you had one. But these teachers are out here smashing our babies. It's disgusting. If your son is dying to go to school, he's up early. Got his little Scooby-Doo lunchbox at the front door, waiting to go there. That's right, Rice Patty. None of my teachers look good. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. None of them were fine. No. And the thing about it is, you are a grown woman. And I'm sure it's men too.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You are a grown woman. You're an adult. You're supposed to be a person of trust. How many people remember? I'm going to go on my tangent, damn it. They're supposed to be a person of trust. If someone is doing something wrong to you at home, you're supposed to be able to go tell your teacher. That was supposed to be a sanctuary. That was supposed to be a de facto parent when you went to school. I remember my grandmother called my teacher. My teacher called my grandma because I was acting up. I was showing my behind. I was being a class clown.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
And my grandmother came up there with the wig cocked to the side. She had that big Madeira muumuu dress with the purse that was the size of a carry-on bag. And she walked into my classroom with a belt from home. This is before you couldn't hit your kids. My grandmama walked in there. Miss Hall's class, she looked just like Bernie Mac. Nope. No joke. She did. And my grandmama beat my behind in front of that class. But back to, my point is, that's what teachers were. Now you got these young ladies and you got guys too that are violating the innocence and the trust of these kids. And like Michonne Denise said on her post today, I can't really hold that kid accountable. If you were a teenage kid and you got an attractive older woman that wants to SCX with you, you're going to do it. My man, Rice Patty Reason says, I was ditching to get kitty cat. Exactly. Dude, who was it? Mary Jane Letourneau or whatever. Now I'm showing my age. Several years ago when she had the baby by the kid, she went to prison. They got together after it was over. Then, then she transitioned. She passed away. But the point of the story is, I'm sending my kid to school to get done by the teacher. Raise in the building. going on, partner? Good to have you here. Hey, Razor Rays, we were just talking about these teachers that are smashing our children. They're sitting there having relations with our children. You know, you know, yeah, I'm making a little light of it, but it's not funny at all, people. It's not a funny situation at all. I don't get it. What is this world coming to? You know, that and they're not just doing this normal little, you know, relation thing. They getting freaky with it, like some straight up, you know what I'm saying? Corn hub is going on, man. And what you think the kid gonna do? This is what I'm saying to the teachers. This is what I'm saying to the teachers that go
What
that
the
route.
hell is wrong with you?
What do you think that kid is gonna say? What do you think that kid is gonna say? You think those kids are not gonna talk, and then they're gonna get on their little phones, on their TikTok and Snapchats or whatever it is, and I sit back and say, "Hey, man, I had old Miss Crabtree." Yeah, exactly, Ray. You know, I had old Miss Crabtree behind the gym, you know, face down, arse up. You know what I'm saying? What is that about? Exactly, Razor Rays. You know, Big Shirley from What's Happening. That's what my teachers look like. Mr. Bookman. That's what my teachers look like. It was nothing like this. What is going on with the moral erosion of our culture? The people that are supposed to be held in places of responsibility and esteem and trust. Please get those likes up, man. Please get the likes up. Of trust. What's happening to what's happening? What's happening? I just don't get it, people. For the life of me, I do not understand what's going on. Hey, I wanted to touch on this too. I watched the video, and it was one of these hating on the passport bros. You know, I got to talk about it. Hating on the passport bros movement about, and I'm going to do a full show on this. But it was hating on the passport bros about, you know, basically it was the mother goddess simps, the Russell Wilson fan club, talking about how passport bros have to travel, that they're weak. You're right, Razor, a perverted society. That's not okay at all in any way. There's no way I can condone that. But these guys were talking about, we live in a time of attention whores. Everyone is filming themselves doing craziness. Everyone is putting their business in the street is not worth is to commit crimes of any kind. Absolutely. Everybody wants attention. And I want to ask y'all, do you think they could have a Freaknik like they did back in the 90s right now? Yes or no? In the chat, tell me. Do you think they could have a Freaknik, or would it be worse than it was back in the 90s? Give me some feedback. I want to hear. I want to see. In the society that we live in, the gun culture we live in, the way that we live in. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Thank you, Michonne. Thank you. And it's the white ladies. You know, I don't know if anybody has seen it. Send me a link. Put it down in the description. If you've seen one of our sisters be one of the ones that's and I'm not just breaking it down. Don't make this a racism, white supremacy thing, but it's a whole bunch of Beckys. It's a whole bunch of Beckys that's out there thoughting it up with these young kids. It's a whole bunch of them. A lot of young ones that I see. You're right, man. Hey, thank you a lot, Michonne. Thank you for that. Thank you. I just don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what is going on with our society.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't understand how that's okay. You know, why would you do? And a lot of these women are married. And why is a adolescent teenage boy the object of those type of desires? A teenager. Yeah, well, you know when it's back to the freaking thing. Yeah, that's already a big weekend down there. You know that, right? Oh, not in the U.S. I feel you. I got you. And Kevin, the debauchery be maybe some of those teachers will be down there freaking me. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think it could happen again. I don't think the city of Atlanta would allow that to happen again, or any city that's smart would allow that. Not with not with the way it is now. And my man, Raise, I think it was easy in the USA and now. Yeah, because I think Raise, bro, I think it was a different mindset. You know, first of all, there were no cell phones. I mean, there were cell phones because we got the video of there's a picture of Kanye. If I can look that up, Kanye at I'm gonna look up the image. I'm gonna go ahead. This is my man Shula King. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and show this. Oh yeah. I want to show this because I really love this dude. I love this guy. Um, Shula King. He's a great comedian. But I want to show this. All right, I want you guys to see this. You know, I'm my own engineer, so you know you can imagine what that's like. But here's the video. Here's a video of Kanye at Freak Nick. Let's go ahead. Let's run it.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody want to tell me just what in the week caught Kanye at the Freak Nick? The documentary coming out, and there's a picture going viral of Kanye at Freak Nick 94 with his little nasty self. Phone out, filming. You nasty as hell, Kanye. Yes, you are. You every time you turn around, Kanye got something to say. Why you ain't saying nothing about this? Why you ain't saying nothing about you being nasty as hell? And you got that phone mighty close to the action area where all the action was happening. And you know, back in 94, they wasn't even shaving like that. So you nasty. You nasty, Kanye. Yes, you are. They wasn't shaving. They wasn't waxing like that. Everything was everything. They was biblical still in 94. Everything was still like it was in the Bible. You know what I'm trying to say. And you had your phone that close. You nasty as hell, Kanye.
That's my man Shula King. Check it out. But yeah, Mike Deasy, my jump master, Ed, you know, military G's war I passed one. We just didn't have these. Hey, bro, I gotta tell you, man, my Freak Nick story. We left Fort Bragg at I believe it was 7:00 at night. We got to Atlanta 2:00 in the morning. It was about 2 a.m. when we got to Atlanta, right? And went straight to my boy's house. Yeah, Kanye was in there, Rays. We left for it's about a 6.5 hour drive from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Atlanta. We all hopped in my car, drove straight down to Atlanta, got to Atlanta, dropped our bags off at the house, and went straight out to the club until like 10 o'clock the next day. And just like Razor Ray said, back then, you knew that brothers had the heaters. You knew that brothers had the hardware. You knew that. But it was nowhere nearly as prevalent as it is today. See, they had something else that was going on down there. When I was there were certain things going on. Do y'all remember back when people used to have fights? Huh? Do you remember that? Do you remember when me and you used to have a problem and we used to just, hey, we used to just knuckle up in the middle of the street? There were a lot, you had fights. Everything wasn't handled at the end of a gun. You know what I'm saying? At the end of a barrel. That's why I think Freaknik couldn't happen today. If anybody really wants to do a video, it should be, why can't Freaknik be redone? It can't be, because of the gun culture that we live in. It just can't be. These young whippersnappers out there. What's going on, Awakened Black Heterosexual? Welcome, man. Love these names. I absolutely love these names. But yeah, you couldn't have that today. You couldn't have Freaknik today. And I think first of all, in this world of, I'm gonna watch the documentary, see if they catch me in there. I'm gonna watch the documentary to see if I'm in there. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, what you trying to hide? Are you the holier than thou? Mother goddess of the church, the first lady. Is that you now? So you don't want nobody to know that you was down there tricking? Huh? Please like, click, and subscribe. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Let's get the likes up. That's the thing. I mean, why is that documentary causing so many problems? And it might not be. I might be overreacting. I might be tripping off of it. But like the video that I showed you before with the young lady from the community that was coming up, way more triggered. Yeah, guys don't have patience. No, they don't, man. Shout out to Razor Rays. He's old school. Like, plus I don't want to squab with Razor Rays. Razor Rays looks a little swole to me. Look like that might hurt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to box with him. But you're right. You're right. They don't want to box no more. What happened back in the day? Yeah, it's every. What happened back in the day? I remember I had how many people hit a one in the chat if you had a bully? I had a bully when I was in school. I remember his name. His name was Clement Adams. I'll never, ever forget it. Yep, the bike weeks up in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, with the new Freaknik, but they got all messed up with gunplay as well. Yeah, you're right. Right down 95, right? Right down 95 in Myrtle Beach. Memorial Day weekend used to be the bike weeks down in Daytona. And what was wild about that was white bike week was the week before the black bike week. Still couldn't get away from the racism. Same thing with Gay Pride Week. There's a white Gay Pride Week in Atlanta and a black Gay Pride Week. I didn't know that, all that letter stuff has stuff to do with your race too. Yeah, they barely argue much. Yeah, they go straight for the Glock after a few words. Exactly. Cowardly. See, having been in the military, I said to myself, it doesn't take a man to pull the trigger. It takes a man to live with the consequences of what you did. Once you pull that trigger and that projectile goes downrange at maximum velocity, there's nothing you can do. There's no I'm sorry. There's no I'm taking it back. There's none of that. All the remorse in the world is not going to stop that bullet from going where it's going to go. And I think any one of us military people, if anybody who's ever been a victim or been affected by gun violence would agree with me when you sit back and say that it just doesn't make sense. There's no reason for it. If you tried to have a Freaknik today, it'll be a disaster. It'll be a disaster. I agree with everybody in the chat. It will be a disaster. I'm like with Razor Rays. Let's knuckle up. Let's go toe to toe in the street. But you know what the beauty of that is? We get it off our chest. You get the best of me. I get the best of you. And then we move on. Ain't nobody's family having to have a funeral. Ain't nobody deleted. Ain't nobody losing their lives over probably a petty argument. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you know what? Awaken Black heterosexual. I'm gonna give this caveat to that too. I agree. I think the responsibility when it comes to this violence, especially when it comes to like drill and all of that those genres within the hip hop genre, I think what needs to be said, yeah, it wouldn't even last to 1 a.m. Razor Rays. It wouldn't last. This is what I have to say. Has anybody ever done a drill down into these death clauses that the record companies have on these little gangster, quote unquote, rappers? The insurance they take out that they're not going to live. The fact that when they're deleted, the record company makes the money. See, I'm going to date myself. I came up in the early to mid 80s in Los Angeles area, basically. And we had NWA, the quote unquote, the founders of gangster rap, some might say. But even then, it was still about social commentary. F the police, because we all said it. So when they came out, it was like, oh man, we didn't see it as gangster rap. We saw it as a bunch of brothers from the hood that are talking about what we going through. Much like the message back, in a more gangster way, but just like the message back in the 70s with Grandmaster Flash. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. But today there's no rhyme or reason. In the words of Michonne Denise, these little gremlins are out here gremlining, if that's a word. I think it's a word. But they're out here shooting each other, killing each other for no reason. Sitting back, putting it on social media. That plays a part in it. But every record label that promotes and distributes this music is owned by a much larger label. And when those kids are being put in the ground, that label's still making money off those streams. So yeah, the rappers need to take accountability, but you're getting these young gremlins, these young kids raised in the world that we live in today. You throwing them millions of dollars and then asking them to be responsible. That's just not going to happen. I got to play this again for those that missed it. I got to play this again.
Motherfucking mouth and ass. I do what I want to do with it. At the end of the day,
Freak Nick no more, bro.
Why not?
Because of all these hoes. I'm a queen. I know my worth.
You need to shut that shit up.
Yeah, come show that ass like your mama them doing.
Shake it.
And look at her, boy. Now that's natural ass right there. That's no BBL, natural ass. Ass got more dimples than a golf ball.
Let's go golf.
And look at her shaking ass in some wedges. These hoes can't even walk in wedges these days. Ooh, and she look at her. Ooh, that's where the twerking shit came from. Ain't come that making a shot. That's a Tootsie Roll twerk. Damn, and look at her. Ass just moving like water.
Look at it.
But I bet the face don't match though.
That do.
I bet it don't.
That do. Hey, that's your mama right there, bro.
No, that ain't my motherfucking mama.
And that's your auntie Cheryl right there.
That's not my auntie
Fair
Cheryl.
use, fair use.
That is my auntie Cheryl. She missing a side too.
Damn.
Hold on.
what are you calling me for? Matter of fact, I know what you calling me for. Don't call me asking me no questions about some shit I did 28 motherfucking years ago. Okay? I'm grown as fuck. You got questions? You call your auntie Cheryl and ask her. Because that's the bitch that took me down now.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
my motherfucking mouth and ass. I do what I want to do with it. At the end of the day, I'm still your mama. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't call me asking me shit about my damn past. I do what the
Oh my goodness, man. When I saw that today, I was like, I gotta share this. Let's see what Jeff in Brazil gotta say. Sometimes we go to Camp Lejeune to get some Marine chicks because we wanted to, no problem. And the Marines told us where to look. Hey, dude, I got to give a shout out to all my Marine brothers that are down there at Camp Lejeune, Camp Geiger, Cherry Point, down in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Salute to you guys. I remember going down to Onslow Beach for 58 days training with you. So if you don't know, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 82nd Airborne Division, home of Special Forces, home of the Airborne. Benning might have something to say about that. But down in Jacksonville, North Carolina, is where Camp Lejeune is with the Marine Expeditionary Force. And anybody and everybody who served, salute to you. But yeah, you know, this Freaknik people, Freaknik, I think it would be the gunplay, the rap culture, the music would definitely play a lot into it. And just the mere fact that it just seems like people can't get together these days. People can't get together these days like they used to. You know, young folks can't seem to get together the way that they used to. It just doesn't make any sense. But hey, guys, I digress. I wanted to touch on this too. I wanted to touch on I watched the video today, and it's going to take a little too long to find it, but basically it was like a mishmash, right? Of guys sitting back saying that we were that passport bros, for the people that don't mind that label, that moniker, saying that that passport bros are weak and they're simps and all of that because they have to travel outside the country. That we have to travel outside the country in order to meet women, right? And I, you know, and I listened to it, and I kind of took exception. Not that I kind of took exception. I took exception to it. Freaknik is just the beginning. Wait until, yeah, oh, wow. That's a scary thought. That's an absolute scary thought. Yeah, I thought these kids were bad. That is a scary thought.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You know, yeah, that is scary. That truly is. I just think, yeah, every 4th of July, we head out to Atlanta, then back to Bragg PT formation. No fights, no stupid shit. We used to do the same thing. As long as you back, I think it was like 6 a.m. for us, 6:30 for PT. You know, head straight down 95 to Florence, South Carolina, and hit 20 West, right? 20 West, right through Florence, Columbia, Augusta, right into Atlanta. I've ridden that so many times. It's unbelievable. The bike weeks are the new Freakniks, they got messed. Yeah, all of it gets messed up in gunplay. All of it gets messed up in gunplay. And I want to ask you guys a question to take it back to some travel related things. I want to ask you this. How much is the gun culture playing in people's decision to leave the US? Put a 1 in the chat if that has influenced your decision whether to stay in the US or not. Because just like I showed earlier, what is going on? My man Trey in the building. My man Trey in the building. What's going on, brother? Trey in the building. Good to have you here. Oh, so it hasn't bothered you guys. I mean, to me, I've been in situations where it wasn't any doubt about gunplay. Call me. We won't just. We just don't do for happy. I can be all of that, but I'm happy and smiling too. Tell them we don't leave that part. Absolutely, absolutely. I got you. We just. Hey, yeah, I got you. I understand. I understand 100%. I do. For me, it's you know, I just don't quite understand. I don't. The me personally, I don't think it takes an assault rifle to protect your family. I just don't. I don't. I can't go along with guys that travel in unknown territory have better skills, different situations to deal with. Guys in the States, yeah. I just feel an assault rifle should be in the hands of someone who's properly trained to use it. Law enforcement being one of them, military. Um, it doesn't. You shouldn't. People don't take an AR-15 deer hunting. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't roll with that. You know, prayers go out. I don't know what his status is, but prayers go out to the police, to the young rookie cop. I think it was like his 10th call that was shot up in Louisville at this mass shooting that happened. Shot goes out to him because one thing I do have to say, um, we do have to say, well, he's still in critical condition. 10 days out of the police academy. Prayers go out to him and his family. And I'm gonna get to your comment, Kevin. Let me get to Trey because Trey has some insight. Isn't necessarily unless you. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's my point. That's my point. I don't get it, man. It's not. We going back between two topics. Okay. Kevin and Alban say the DICK police call passport week is just jealousy. Those guys are now organizing their lives to take advantage of the global economy. They're still using shaming tactics for passport bros from living abroad. Yo, Rubber Band Man, my man Rubber Band Man is in the building. What's going on, brother? We talking about two things, but I really want to focus on this passport bros thing. And to make everybody aware, if you're just getting in, I saw another one of the hate videos. So many of them on Passport Bros, but the crust of it was, and I'm gonna get to Mike Deasy. I'm gonna get to your comment. The fact that Passport Bros have to travel to other countries to basically get women. Yeah. You're right, Trey. You're right. Shotgun probably is more effective for intruders. That buckshot, that Dave Chappelle skit. That was hilarious. But they saying that Passport Bros have to because they're lame, because this, that, or whatever, that's weak. You got to go over there. You can pay for it here, whatever. And without getting super long-winded, I'm going to get into my take on it. All right. If I'm looking for a pair of shoes, size 10 and a half, because 10 and a half fits me right, don't hurt my corns, all of that kind of stuff. Mike D, what you know about the stab and jab, man? What you know about the Yatima Club on Gruber Road, man? Smoke Bomb Hill. Getting me distracted from my point. If you're looking, shout out to the Yatima. All right, I'm back with you. I was unplugged for a minute. My audio went out. But I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. But I want to get back control on this topic. First of all, before we go to the weapons, if I'm look if I'm looking for a pair of shoes, right? Hit the one if you can hear me. I think my sound is back. If I'm looking for a pair of shoes size 10 and a half because they fit me a certain way, right? And those are the shoes that I want, right? And I go to some bargain basement wholesale store, right? And to Tavares, I'll get to you. Tavares, no, it is not legal in Cambodia yet, not like Thailand. It is tolerated unless you do something really, really stupid to Tavares X when it comes to weed. You're good, but it's not legal in Cambodia like it is in Thailand. Thailand is the only country in Southeast Asia now that I believe it's that way. So to answer your question. But if y'all let me make my point, it's if I'm looking for a size 10 and a half pair of shoes, and I go looking for that pair of shoes because they fit me perfect. And that's where, those are the shoes I'm looking for. Why would I go into a big warehouse store where they got this big bin of shoes and I got to dive down to the bottom and search all the way through because all this got 8.5, 9.5, 11.5, 12.5. And then finally I might find that 10.5 that I've been looking for. Or do I go to a place where I know they got 10.5s, where I have a higher probability of finding, what I'm looking for? And I'll drop the link here. And that's basically what I'm saying. If I know in America that the modern woman, for the most part, is not fit, is not feminine, is argumentative, uncooperative, and I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some. But if I've gotten to the place now that I can afford, I have the option to take part in the global dating scene because it's global now. Let's not get that twisted. It's global, right? Because this is what I was told about options. Money gives you options. Exactly, Trey. I'm glad somebody got it. Damn, I work hard on that. Now they want you to suffer with the 10.5s that you don't want to settle for. Exactly. When I hear some of these brothers come out with this, when I hear some of these detractors come out and say, you're not man enough. You don't have enough game to make that woman submit to you in the States. I ain't trying to make nobody submit to me. I'm not trying to fit a size 12 into a 10.5. I'm not going to have you in my house telling me what you're not going to do. If I get all my little pennies together and I want to take you for a 2 for $20 at Applebee's and you're going to try to put me on TikTok and try to embarrass me, I'm not dealing with that. But when I traveled overseas and I meet a young lady who says, hey, baby, you ain't even need to spend 20. Let's go around the corner and get $250. Let's spend $5 and go kicking and have a good time because I just like being with you. That's something foreign to some of these ladies. They just don't understand that. So is it, people? And feel free to join, man. I don't want to be up here by myself. Just feel free to join. Yeah, hey, Trey. Those quesadillas at Applebee's, man. And quesadilla burgers, man. They used to be my thing at Applebee's, bruh. Hey, shout out to the quesadillas. Shout out to Applebee's. Shout out to Applebee's. But my point, gentlemen, is this. When I travel, I want to have options. When I'm getting ready to make my reservations to go, stay at a place, I want to have the option of I can stay at the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton, the W, or I can stay at a nice guest house. I can get an Airbnb. I can spend $1,000 a night, or I can spend 120 a night, 150 a night. But the money gives me the options. What's going on, Rubber Band Man? Welcome, bro.
What's up, brother? You on fire tonight? you on fire
Hey,
tonight.
man. Hey, man, it was just so many things going on, bro, and it's good to have you, man. I hope you had a good day at work.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
did
man.
work today.
Yeah, I worked a little bit today, man. Now I'm just back here, straighten the house up, man. But I figured you were going live soon. Let me hop on, man. You know what I'm saying? Because make this night go by.
Hey, you weren't here earlier. I was doing this this show. It started off tonight. The live started off tonight about this Freaknik documentary.
Oh, hey, man. I'm from down in Mississippi, so I know all about that. I know all about that, boy.
Hey, bro, the first Freaknik I went to, there were a bunch of us from Pasadena and Altadena, LA, and there were a whole bunch of. I was in the military, but all my boys went to Southern University. Shout out to Southern University, Baton Rouge. And those guys went to Southern. And they didn't have a vehicle large enough, big enough for everybody to get up to Atlanta. So these brothers rented a U-Haul, put some, air mattresses or whatever, sleeping bags in the back, put some food and some coolers, and drove the U-Haul up to Atlanta for Freaknik. That's how it was, man. I mean, I'll never forget that. I'll never, ever forget it. So I'm really trying to figure out why these people now all of a sudden have an issue.
Well, because what it is, man, just like I was telling someone on a show, man, a couple nights back. You know what I'm saying? When the age of Aquarius, this is some things are being revealed. All right, you got to remember. I told you, I told you a couple weeks back. The American ABW is good at Saul Lindsay Tactics for Radicals. If y'all get a chance in the chat, read the book Saul Lindsay Tactics for Radicals. Okay, when they introduced communism / socialism to the black American community, the ABW gobbled it up. Whether she read the book or she fed into the tactics. All right, one of the tactics for Saul Alinsky Tactical Radical is if you got a political opponent, and let's say you're doing dirt and you know what I'm saying, and you and I are debating. I bet you know what I'm saying, you're the clean candidate, but I'm the one with all the dirt. You know what I'm saying? The job for me is to project what I'm doing onto you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever shadiness I'm doing, my job is to project that onto you so everybody think that you're doing it. So in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Black women went on TV and said black men were deadbeat fathers, abusive and all that stuff. Then in the 90s, it was the down low and stuff. We were cheating on our wives with multiple women. You know what I'm saying? Now it was, you know what I'm saying? It was we're not college educated. We're not trying to compete in America in the 2000s. So now we're finding out now that, okay, you know what I'm saying? Stuff is coming out now that it is the American ABW who's the abusive mother. Why? Because my mother was abusive with me. It's the American ABW who's the down low, because we're seeing all these black female athletes coming out now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're starting to come out the closet. For all the years, a good example was Candace Parker. She was married to this brother all these years. Then all of a sudden, she divorced her husband, but she made sure she got the baby. She got the baby from him. Then she divorced him, and when I got with a female. Okay, now we'll find out now on the Freaknik. You know what I'm saying? The Freaknik is coming out, and all these women in powerful positions in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? From the mayor Keisha Lansbottom, we might see her on Freaknik tape. You know what I'm saying? Judges and all
I
that.
would love to see that. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Trey said, Freaknik just reconfirmed that women been busting open for technology for decades.
Right. So now all this is
Camcorders
coming
back
out.
in the day, now it's iPhones.
Yeah. So now all this stuff is coming out. You know what I'm saying? And everybody and it's not black men who have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's the American ABW who has built this image of her being so pristine and pure. You know what I'm saying? Well, put it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that she's not pristine and pure, but she has convinced everybody that she's so pristine and pure. So now all this dirt it's starting to come out. You know, Jack, I told a friend of mine, I said the face of the alphabet community is the black female, because all these black female athletes are coming out. So, no, band ball for them.
Yeah, I want to show you this. I want to show you this real quick. This is because I think Trey, maybe some of you guys missed it, but I played this video earlier because I think, matter of fact, I know this is what it's going to be about. This is going to be the deflection of the story that they're going to try to make it about right here.
To tell me that Freaknik got canceled because the women were being raped and essayed, and y'all worried about how the women are going to be perceived?
See, I'm gonna let it finish playing, then we can talk about it.
What? Baby, y'all worried about the wrong thing. Some of our uncles and fathers is about to be exposed, and I'm here for every minute of it. I hope they show faces. Don't blur out nobody's face. I want names, faces, and location. Y'all worried about how black women are going to be portrayed. Baby, that Hulu documentary about to have black men looking like some straight sexual deviants.
Yeah,
do you see what they're trying to do already?
Yep. See, that's Saul Listy, Tactics for Radicals. You project what you're doing onto your opponent. You know what I'm saying? You do that. That's if anyone to check, get that book, Saul Listy, Tactics for Radicals. And
hey, go ahead and put it. Type that in the chat, man. Type it in the chat because I want to be able to check it out myself.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But see, they already, and Trey said the stories of disposable cameras could tell. My thing, man, is we did what we did, bro. And I was there, Trey, and Kevin down in Albany, and Mike, my man, Jumpmaster Mike. And like you said, Mike, what I eat don't make you shit. Why does it matter what people do, especially when it does? Exactly. I've been telling that all the time. Why are you trying to police a grown man's pockets and what he does? Right? That's right. Trey is on point about that. My thing, bro, is this. We all, what's going on? Trey in the building. Real deal. What's happening?
What's going on, brother? I wanted to say something real quick to you, man, about what I just heard the lady say that you just played.
Yes.
I do not think it's going to make the black men look like rapists. First of all, the one thing she failed to realize is it's caught on camera. So if it's caught on camera, the people that's viewing the screen is going to see that the women that volunteered to go there and volunteered to bend over, shaking their butt on the cars, giving blowjobs, it's going to show that clearly you're not getting raped, that it's a voluntary thing. When they see you getting up freely, walking away, and walking over toward the guys and still shaking your butt, you're not screaming and you're not saying stop. Now, I did see when I was super young, and I did see a Freaknik tape years ago. Now, I did see one incident where a chick, I guess she was shaking her stuff. Yeah, I seen one incident now, one. But that ain't what it, there was only one incident that I saw in that whole entire tape where the crowd got out of control and they violated the lady. But outside of that, every other female I saw on there, what she was doing, and I saw this as a kid now, she was volunteering. Nobody forced nothing on nothing. Nobody did nothing. The women would walk up to the guys, ask the guys to show themselves. The women were doing a lot of off the chain stuff. So no, it's not gonna make the guys or the uncles look like predators. It's gonna look like, hey man, those some guys that got some available. I hate to say it, some hoish women that made it available at that time.
Well, I agree with you. I was there. I was there, and the thing that I saw when I was there, right, was it was a lot of fun. Man, it was a lot of partying. It was a lot of younger, more college age kids, right,
Uh-huh.
from from all over the country, and I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure that did happen. But in the world that we live in now, and with the attack on the black man, the reason I showed that video is that look how that particular woman is trying to make it all about what the brothers did. She didn't
What
mention one.
what what to be honest with you, man, to be honest with you, because it's called what I heard somebody say on this one time, it's called whore's remorse. So like a lot of women that are quote unquote whores, they know they are, but they don't like it when a guy kind of rub it in their face or kind of just go around the community and just tell everybody, look, we smashed her and got a blowjob. Like they cool with doing all 10 of you, but when you kind of try to make them feel bad, then that's when they kind of panic and they'll just be like, oh, you're gonna dog me out for the things I was doing for you. Well, I'm finna flip this around. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's kind of like whore's remorse, and she gotta like, kind of got to find a way to scram and be like, well, man, since you're making me feel bad for my auntie
Yeah.
doing this or what I did, then I gotta flip this some kind of way.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Hey,
We'll see.
Trey.
Ed, do modern women ever miss an opportunity to play victim? Do they ever miss
Never,
an op? They never miss an opportunity. All this is
No.
never.
is all this is another opportunity for them to say, look what these black men were doing to us.
Yeah, but see,
Hang on. When in actuality, when in actuality, and being a former law enforcement officer, and my man, I don't know what his name is, I can't see it, but he used the proper word. The proper word was force. That's the word that needed to be used. There was no force there. So you can't be essayed and you can't be great because nobody forced themselves on you. You standing out at the top of a sunroof, flashing yourself and shaking your behind. You might as well say you giving consent. Nobody's forcing you to do anything.
Facts.
You're making these choices, and like he said, there is a lot of remorse, and this is what I'm hearing. I've been trying to dig deep into this. I have a cousin who used to be a former Atlanta sheriff. I've been trying to dig into this and to figure out. Supposedly, there's a few professional women now who are going to be in this video, and
Oh,
when it comes out, or excuse me, in this documentary, when it comes out, it's going to exploit them. Yeah, you can't be in a professional, and I believe one of them is supposedly a judge. You can't go back and look back at the times and see you busting and open for a camcorder, and now you ruling over cases. It doesn't work that way. At some point in time, the women, and not just black women, at some point in time, women have to realize that the things that you do in your past could have a detriment to your professional future. The things you're doing when you're in your late teens and your early 20s and your 20s could affect you in the future when you want to be a lawyer, when you want to be a state representative, when you want to do all these things, they come back to haunt you. That's why I have a huge issue with OnlyFans girls, because I tell them you cutting your child off at the knees. Now there's certain things your child can never do. Your child can never be the president of the United States. Never. It can never happen. Because the first thing that their opponent's gonna say, your mama used to be butt naked on OnlyFans. You can't lead the country. Look what
no,
you
no.
grew up in. So at some point in time, these women they've got to get past. Look, I've done these things, and you should just forgive me. You should just accept me. No, we're not. And this documentary is going to, from what I'm hearing, again, it's just rumor. I can't confirm it, but from what I'm hearing, it's going to expose some women because they was down there doing what the girls are doing in spring break now in Miami. You go down to Miami spring break, they're doing the same thing now. Only difference is the guys aren't holding up a camcorder; they're holding up an iPhone.
Great point, Trey. Great point. Rubber band, yes, some.
Yeah, man. Hey, I agree. I agree with Trey, man. No, hey, I put that book in the back chat for you. On
Okay,
the link.
thanks.
Yeah, but like I say, man, it's a lot. But once again, I'm not trying to get all metaphysical, man. But this is the age of revealing. Like I told someone in the chat a couple weeks ago, black man, the pendulum is swinging back in your direction. For all this crap you took, Now, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the universe is swinging it to them back in your dumb direction. And all this stuff is coming out, and they're running scared. And like Trey said, man, you can't be going over a done sexual assault case, you know what I'm saying? And they got you on tape, bent over, twerking it out, you know what I'm saying? Or like what Obsidian showed last month at those sipping paint, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
Those
my
videos. I mean,
goodness. Oh my
that,
goodness.
hey
man,
man,
they had
dude. Let me tell you something. In my short YouTube career, that had to be one of the most shocking things.
man. And look, Ed, I'm gonna tell you this, man.
They sent me the unedited, the unblurred out links. I got downloads of those videos that showed it the raw videos,
Yeah.
and I was like, nah, man.
Hey, look,
Hey,
man.
Ed,
Hold on a second,
did
Trey.
you see the Jamaican government was shutting down the little raft parties? They were cutting the rafts up. Did you see that? These women were
Yeah.
No, I
going
didn't
out
see
going
that.
yeah, these women
Yeah.
were going to Jamaica on these rafts, and they were having their little sex parties on the rafts, and the Jamaican government didn't like it, so they sent the boys out there to go cut them rafts up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's going. Hey, look. Hey, look. I've seen it had a one, man. This chick was married, and she was giving. I mean, her neck was working like a rattlesnake, home, because I mean that male stripper was getting. I mean, and that male stripper was getting. I mean, that male stripper was getting to work. I mean, she trying. I mean, brother about to break down to his knees, man. I mean, she was working that neck, and all this is going on, and a lot
I
of these
mean,
women are married.
I think the part that bothers me the most is the blatant hypocrisy. You know,
Yeah, preach.
especially with, I wouldn't even talk about it. I wouldn't even bring it up if it wouldn't have been of you trying to say that brothers that travel and use their passports are just going out here to be, whoremongers or whatever it is. But you throwing boulders in a glass house. You ain't throwing rocks, you throwing boulders. And the thing about it, it was Black Noir that brought that out, right? Ebony Noir,
Yeah,
Black Noir,
yeah.
which supposed to be a women's forum, right?
Hey, look, man. But look, man. All your usual suspects got bent out of shape. I mean, Courtney Michelle got bent out of shape because she said Obsidian was lying on black women on that. Like, ain't no lying. It's on video. We're literally watching on video, man. Ain't no lying to that. It's on video, man.
Hey, Trey, let me ask you this. So you think because they're not going to be able to stop the documentary from coming out.
No,
So do you think
would need some sort of legal injunction, and I highly doubt they're gonna be able to get that. You can sue all you want, but unless you can get some sort of legal restraining order injunction to get it, they can't stop it.
Not happening, bro.
I mean, so what do you think? What with the way that we spin things, and when things get out of the news cycle, people forget. Do you think that these women are worried because of the current position that they hold?
Yeah, I do.
People are not going to forget that.
Yeah, I think. Listen, if you worked, I mean, that's what Freaknik was the '90s. You got to forgive me. I was born in '84, so Freaknik was the '90s, right? So
Yeah, 90s. Yeah.
so I would imagine that for the last 20 plus years, you've been trying to climb that corporate ladder, right? And
Yeah.
by now, after 20 years, you're probably somewhere, not at the top, but you could be, or you're near the top, right? You're an executive of some sort. And all they need is for a video to come out with you,
And you ain't getting that promotion.
Yeah, exactly, leaning out of a window, with your breasts hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good look. And here's the thing, because I saw somebody say, well, they can't fire you for that. I'm like, the hell they can't. If you have conduct that could be detrimental to that company that you work for, they have right. If you make them look bad, if you do something, you make a company look bad because you work for them, they can get rid of you. They will get rid of you.
I mean, just imagine if that female is like a Fulton County Superior Court judge.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
What I'm saying?
Ed, that's the one that
Ed, you went there, Ed.
I'm very interested in that one, Ed, because the one that's supposedly a judge, that one I'm very interested in because, because you have an issue with men. You know what I mean? Like, you can go back through all her cases and see how she ruled on the cases.
Yep.
I never really looked at it that way.
Bro,
Hey,
I mean that's what they do. Even like when I was on a department, Like when they used to find out that like some of these officers were gang members, they had to go back through all them cases and all them arrests and go back and go make sure that there was no the waters weren't
Conflict of
muddy.
interest or
Yeah,
whatever.
conflict of interest. Yep.
Yeah. I mean that, but see, it all goes back to even though this is before the present day internet that we have, right? Like you said, it was camcorder as opposed to cell phones. But whatever you do on video, regardless, is out there forever somewhere. It's out there forever somewhere. You know, I did a video. I did it was on a whole nother YouTube channel that I don't even remember. But I think it was like I Took the Leap travel blog or something where I had gone up to what's going on, Brooklyn. But this was like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And I just happened to be looking at my suggested channels and it brought up this video that I did from Green Lake, Wisconsin. I'm like, that shit is still out there somewhere. So you're right. So what if she ruled against somebody in the SA case or public indecency, indecent exposure?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Ed. Yeah.
Because how can you say that I'm being indecent and you sentence me to this
when you were doing it?
Look at you. I
don't think that we're gonna have to worry about any felony type things. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that. Although, I would be careful. There is no statute of limitation on grape. So, you got to be careful on that. But I will say this, though. I really don't believe you're going to see, these cases, these criminal cases. But I will say this. We do live in a land we live in a litigious country here in America. Not you anymore, Ed, but we do here in America. I can see some civil cases coming out against some of these guys. Some of these women suing these guys after the video because they feel embarrassed. So that you did this to me on camera, because the burden of proof is a lot less in a civil case.
No,
I can see that happening. Yep.
How are you gonna sue somebody for something that, if I'm on camera like volunteering to do something, you pretty much got me red-handed. So my expression and my tone of voice is gonna tell it all at that point in time. So there's no suing. And then if I have you in front of a camera, you standing in front of it, you pretty much know you're being filmed. So you had the opportunity to say, do not film me or turn away or something like this. So if you didn't do none of that, and I see you on camera going along with it, I can make up whatever I want to say with my mouth, but I'm getting hit upside the head with the proof. So
but the issue is that you're thinking in a criminal proceeding.
Yeah, but
in a civil proceeding,
who they gonna sue?
It's a lot different. Who they gonna sue? Hulu? Hang on. She could say that she was pressured. She could come up with anything.
Please.
But here's the thing. What you guys are saying, I agree, because it's logical. We can look at it and say that's not the case. Right? We can look at it and say that's not the truth.
A courtroom's gonna look at that, Trey. A courtroom. Okay, time out. Who are they gonna sue? Hulu?
Stop thinking. You're thinking criminal cases. You have to.
No. I'm thinking civil.
The burden of proof is very low.
Hey guys, let's let my man chime in here, Pharaoh.
All right. Well, peace and love to everybody from out here. I'm in Thailand right now. Hope you're all doing
Cambodia,
good.
Baby.
Oh, no doubt. Now the thing is about it, you gotta keep in mind back then, because I was in my late teens during the 90s. Hold on a second.
Hey Ed, pull up that one message where he talked about the suspended officer. You see that?
Okay.
And now you guys know that back then there wasn't no little cell phone cameras. These are the big ass cameras that everybody was walking around. So it's not like they didn't see these cameras or say that it was happening in secrecy or didn't against consent and stuff like that. Because I've been to these Freakniks. Hell, I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, home of Black Bike Week.
Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, I know, I've been there.
And even up until before I left the States last year, it was the same stuff was going down at last year's Bike Week as it was back then. A bunch of women was going there, pretty much getting ran through, and they didn't care. I've seen women who I know for a fact I seen up in D.C. working for, like working in the government buildings, but out there twerking and shaking their asses on the cars. I mean, it's just like that. But yet here they go. I mean, they can sit here and act like this stuff was. They could try to sue, but I don't see how they can really be hold water, especially when you consider that everybody knew what Freaknik was back then. Everybody knows what Black Bike Week was or is to this day. So I mean, they can't sit there and act surprised when footage comes out when they seen everybody out there with cameras. They know everyone out there was out there with cameras because it was, like I said, back then those cameras were not little itty bitty cameras. They were big as hell.
Yeah,
You had to hold them over your shoulder.
Yeah, everybody saw that. Hey, Trey, you wanted to. Hey, thanks a lot, Pharaoh, man. Where are you in Thailand, by the way?
Right now, I'm visiting my lady's family. We're in Pitchit. Like right there, you see some papaya trees. There's some banana trees right there. This is
Yeah, I'm in Siem Reap, man. So you ever in Cambodia, come holler at me. Hey, Trey, what were you saying about
Yeah, I
about
wanted you to I
this
wanted you to pull
comment
up
from
that.
Kevin?
Yeah, I wanted you to pull up that comment from Kevin because I think this is going to
oh,
be
there we
this.
go.
I don't know how true this is, but if this is true, this is going to be what you're going to start to see. This is going to be the fallout. You're going to start to see people getting fired, being suspended, being put on, being put on leave. This is what you're going to see because, like I said, especially for those people who have government jobs and the military, things like that, like they gonna get held accountable if that's true. I don't know how true that is. I also want to bring up one other thing. The O.J. Simpson case is a prime example of this. In the criminal case, he was acquitted, but he was found guilty and responsible for the deaths in the civil case, and he had to pay up $33 million. The burden of proof is not the same. It's just not the same
Hey,
in
but
civil
Trey,
cases. In civil cases,
Well, hey, hold on, Trey. Trey, I hear you. I agree with you, but I got to push back on it a little bit because Hulu bought the rights, so you have to take Hulu to, which is owned by Disney. You know what I'm saying? To the Don Civil Court because why? Because Hulu bought the rights. So the people who bought the rights, you'll have to sue Hulu for that. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
And Disney's got
oh,
lawyers. You know what I'm saying? And
okay.
Disney's got a ton of lawyers to fight that.
Listen,
Mhm.
if there's an opportunity to settle out a case, I don't know how often you deal with lawyers. But if there's an opportunity to settle out a case, the lawyers are going to take the case.
But what I'm saying, Hulu bought the rights, which is owned by Disney.
I understand
You
what
know
you're
what I'm saying?
saying, but if these women go to a lawyer and say, hey, and they say, listen, the most we can do is get you to settle out of court, the lawyers are going to take the case and they're going to get paid on the back end. That's how it works.
I hear you on that, but I can't see a judge taking the case because why?
I
Because
just said they would settle out of court.
okay. Oh, I get you saying, Trey. I get you saying now. Okay.
Hey, let me give a shout out to John Horace. Thanks a lot, brother. The brother's retired. The
Okay,
brother,
cool,
that
cool,
brother's
good.
retired.
All right,
Okay.
good. I would
I mean,
figure that since it was the
I don't think
90s.
it's fair at all. For me personally, I don't think it's fair to go retroactive on something like that when everybody was fully complicit. You know, I'm pretty sure there's some cases where it wasn't, you know, mutual, but those should have been adjudicated then, correct? You
Correct.
know, someone should have, if someone forced themselves on somebody else, that should have been handled 28 years ago. So today is nothing more than I had my hot girl summer, but now somebody caught me on one of them big ass, like my man Mike D said, them big ass cameras had 8-track cassettes back in the day. Yeah, I see you. I see you, Pharaoh. I mean, dude, it's people just, to me, it all goes back to this. It's lack of accountability, right? I've said here on my show when we were talking about how they bash black men, right? I said back on this show when I was open and honest. There were years there where I was a shitty father. I'm 52 years old. It wasn't that I was ever abusive to my ex-wife or my kids. It was never nothing like that. I just wasn't there. You know what I mean? The money was there, but I wasn't there. Now I can't go back and change that now. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though we're talking, it might be apples and oranges, especially when it comes to the judge. Because think about this. Anybody that's been to the A, what companies are based in Atlanta? Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Delta
Mm-hmm.
Airlines,
Mm-hmm.
UPS. You see what I'm saying? What if these ladies, because I know a bunch of ladies that work at Coca-Cola, that's a hell of a job for you to have anywhere, but especially in the A. For you to be an executive of Coca-Cola, Home Depot, UPS, Delta Airlines, and then if this woman is a judge, you're talking like Fulton County, which is the biggest county. I don't know who she is. I'm pretty sure we can find out. But all her cases, like Trey said, from the law standpoint. What if she locked her brother up for 6 months for indecent exposure? That's gone. That's
Hey,
overturned.
hey,
Yeah,
hey, Ed, I got something else to tell you. That just don't confirm this, but it might be coming out in a couple of years from now.
yeah.
Um, Thomas Sotomayor about a couple of years ago uh, um, did an interview with his brother, what I'm saying, who worked in corporate America in Atlanta, and he said that these the white boys would go over to Spelman College. You know what I'm saying, they would hire these girls, these college graduate sisters, and he said this guy, Tom interviewed him. He was talking to this white guy at the gym, and he said, "Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, they got a system they run where they basically, you know what I'm saying, you got these white guys, trying to experience what it is to be with a black woman, and they hire corporate execs. So they'll go to Spelman, they'll hire these girls, give them internships, give them jobs." And he said one of the guys said, "Yeah, man, she had a boyfriend, so I had to break them up." So he said I gave her a slight promotion. Then he said she was doing so much work, her and her man broke up, and I took her on a corporate trip to a function down in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? And the guy said he banged it out. He banged it out. And he said it ain't just him. A couple of his white boyfriend executives were doing it too. They were banging him out. Then when they got through with him, they were tossed to the side. You know what I'm saying? But to debate to keep them quiet, they give them a promotion.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
though, bro? What it really boils down to too is
Mhm.
that the community, the sisterhood, is in fear. Just like they tried to downplay, deflect, deny the raft parties. Even though, I mean, that shows you the level of delusion that some of these ladies have. We got you on video because what I did is when I did my video on that, I gave them a challenge. I said, if I'm gonna call y'all out, I want somebody to send me a video of a bunch of passport bros doing the exact same thing when they go out of the country. Show me a video of that. Show us on the raft parties. You know what I'm saying? Show something like that. And nobody ever came up with anything. So
So they
now
could do
the
the
chickens are
closest thing they
coming
can
home to
find.
roost, right, Pharaoh? They're coming
Yeah.
home to roost. The
Yeah.
chickens are coming home to roost.
The closest thing they could find to anything like that was the yacht party that we had out
Yeah,
here in
yeah.
Pattaya, and that wasn't even like that either. That was all fun loving and just rolling around having a good time.
Yeah, but like I said before to the panel earlier, the blatant hypocrisy. You know what? It's like I don't like to see nobody like fall from grace, and all that. But let me tell you something, and I got to keep it 100, fellas. There is a little bit of redemption in my heart when I see these sisters crash and burn because they just don't know when to shut the fuck up. They just don't know. They want to point the finger and they want to, like this guy said, don't create a climate, then complain about the weather. Because what you've done is you've gone after black men so bad, you know, and that's what one of the premises of my channel is. Like Pharaoh, my man Pharaoh. What did he say? He said, I'm out in the village meeting my girl's family. Why don't they talk about that on TikTok? You see what I'm saying?
Every time I
Healthy.
every time I pop on TikTok and show my life out here, they ban me. Why? For quote unquote hateful behavior. Even though I don't talk about anything hate filled, I don't do any of the divisive rhetoric. I speak about peace, love, and reconciliation in the black community. But because he's not with a black woman, all of a sudden they start coming at me.
Well, see, what's the problem that is, man? You got Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? They can't have y'all leaving because Pookie and Ray Ray need you to take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? And you going.
And not just that, but it's like this: the ladies, those TikTok videos are there to me. The hating on passport bros. Part of that, a big part of that, is to scare the brothers that are on the fence about getting that blue book and traveling.
Mm-hmm.
To shame, guilt them. I don't want to piss the community off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my, mother goddess super simp chimp card in, and I'm gonna toe the line because I don't want, and maybe I can get a little shot of ass if I kiss up long enough. See what we did.
You know what the other part of it is.
We call that dirty macking.
Dirty macking, man. Yep, dirty macking.
And Pharaoh's a victim of this. What it is what Pharaoh's putting out is against the agenda. See, they don't want to believe that black men are actually going overseas and meeting women and starting families and relationships, investing in countries, helping to build community. That's against the agenda. No, that's not what y'all doing. We're only supposed to be going overseas to have sex. That's it. That's all. We're supposed to be the same black men that were in America. We're supposed to be just going overseas and being but once they see that no, that's not what's happening, they gotta find a way to get rid of the pharaohs who want to show them, no, I'm over here doing I'm meeting my girl's family. I'm going to Costa Rica next week to go see my girl. You don't want to see us happy on the beach. That's not good enough for you. You know what I mean? That's not what you want. That's not what you want.
Time out.
Well, on the flip side of that, they even when so yeah, I'm out here just meeting even when we're out here trying to build up the community out here, like, because I tell everybody, look, there's a group of brothers out here that we're out here holding business meetings every Wednesday morning. We're talking about collective investing, collective purchasing, collective everything. We're trying to establish a satellite branch of Black Wall Street in different countries around the world, in which we're networking with each other and trying to have a community of Black excellence set up for brothers and sisters that want to leave America. Then they already have established communities of like-minded people all around the world. And unfortunately, they're like, well, why can't you do that in America? Well, because every time we try that in America, it gets either burned down or it gets self-sabotaged by our own people.
Well,
so that's why.
Well, at the same time, too, you got to remember, too, man, this is the great
Zoom to
replacement.
Thailand in the building, too. Zoom to Thailand. Thank you so much for gracing us, bro.
Yeah.
What's up, Richie? Richie Mack in the building.
You got to remember, too, man, this is the great replacement, too, man. I mean, anytime a society becomes decadent, and it normally starts with the women, so the men start to replace the women. It's just part of the process.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Brooklyn Kid, Trey told me about that, how they shut down the rafting rides because, yeah. See, and you notice they're not talking about that. They're not talking about that at all. My whole big thing has always been this. Money gives you options. Like I said before earlier, I can stay at like here in Cambodia, you got the Sofitel, which is owned by the guy that owns Chang Beer, probably, or the Soka Hotel, where you can go anywhere from 500 to 1,000 a night. In Southeast Asia, that's a grip. That's a lot of money. Or I can stay at a $25 a night guest house, or cheaper. That's cool. It gives me my options. I'm not going to be in the U.S. beating my head up against the wall, trying to convince a woman that hasn't been raised to be, cooperative, non-argumentative, feminine. They don't even understand that your femininity is your currency. That is your currency as a woman. Me and Trey talked about it when me and him first started chatting online. He said, Ed, the way that my girl speaks to me in Costa Rica, don't wear this, baby. We're not going to go there. We're going to do this. It's your yin to your yang. One can't exist without the other. Because what I asked this sister the other day was this. How does, okay, you say you're an independent woman that don't need a man, but then you say you're looking for a husband. So how does a joint union work with an independent woman?
Make it make
Yeah,
sense.
that doesn't make sense, and I keep telling these women because you like to say them. Kevin Sanders coined the term sign language. I decided to upgrade it to call signaling. Shame, insults, guilt needing to be right with accountability lacking. Signaling. All right. So
I like that.
and but the women out here in Thailand, they're fiercely independent because the women to man ratio is severely high. So
Hey,
they,
Pharaoh, I'm asking you this question. What do you say to the women back in the West who say that these Asian women are weak women?
I laugh at them, and it because and actually it made national news out here when these women were saying that stuff. It literally went over the national news all around Thailand, all around
Yeah.
Cambodia, and Philippines, and things like that. And yeah, so they it was a lot of pushback, but
Well, there was
now
a sister. There was not because, but there was a sister on Dennis Sperling. Uncle D, shout out to Uncle D. He had this sister on who said that her and her girlfriend were supposed to be like this was last month. They were supposed to be flying to the
what's your name?
Philippines on some spiritual trip, right? To the
Mm-hmm.
Philippines. She said after those ladies' video went viral, saying that they were dirt foot, couldn't speak English. She said,
Mm-hmm.
me and my girlfriend postponed our trip because we're afraid to fly to Thailand. I mean, to our Philippines.
Yeah.
They called the woman called when I did my live last week out in the countryside with Sim and her family. She called my girl Dirtfoot, and I told her sister. And her sister said, "What Dirtfoot? What does that mean?" So I told her. She said, "Oh," she said, "Tell her we know Kung Kamai, and I can tell her where I'm gonna put my Dirtfoot if she come over here."
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. This is pretty much is just the new face of racism. That's what it is. I mean, you want to we call it like it is. I mean, when you disparage someone because they don't look like you, and all it is basically jealousy. Because, like I said, these women are fiercely more independent than the women in the states are. Only difference is they maintain their femininity. They are
That
strong and
is their
independent.
currency. That is
Yes,
your currency.
yes,
Thai
and that
women, Cambodian women, Vietnamese women, Filipino women. When I first went to Thailand, Pharaoh, women run the economy.
mm-hmm.
Women run the country. It was mind blowing to me. You know what I'm saying? All
Yes,
I saw the Thai dude sitting at the tuk-tuk stand drinking, smoking cigarettes.
mm-hmm.
Not bashing my Thai brother, but they do the same thing here in Cambodia. Khmer women are the same way. They're the same exact way. And these sisters, like Dennis Sperling again sat back and said, "This is again, like Trey. Here comes the hypocrisy. They go pick a fight, but then they say black men don't protect them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
like
we
me and
have
my lady going out to a club. You find some big ass Negro, you walk up to him, start talking trash. You know what I'm saying? You're not protecting me. Like I said in my video, you on your own, sis. You
yeah.
independent. You got
I
it.
walk away. Yeah, I walk away.
Yeah, Ed, just like I showed you in that video on the Atlanta cop. What's the first thing she did? She
Oh
went hid
yeah,
right behind
guys,
right
guys,
behind the man.
guys. That
Mm,
that video and I'm sure y'all you seen the video of the couple in the park.
no, I haven't seen that video.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna find it because I want y'all to see
Okay.
something. This is so deep, man.
Hey, look, man. Hey, the second thing that's gonna happen is you gonna have some brothers that come back with their wives. I remember Dennis Burn was
Hell no.
Dennis Burn was talking about that too. And man, I mean, because I know I was talking to a mad bus driver, and um, his wife is white, and the one day he said he was coming off with his wife and his two kids and his kids and stuff, and he said it's B Dub who I guess she had a couple kids by some pookies, and she saw saw his family, man, and she was trying to run two of his kids over with the done shopping cart and everything, man. And almost trying to start a fight.
Yeah, see, I'm definitely not bringing her to the States. But in fact, she doesn't even want to. She'll come visit, but she don't want to live because she sees how the women out there act. She don't want to become that.
Well, you know, my lady doesn't want to come back. My lady doesn't want to come back.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hey, check this out, y'all. I'm glad y'all are here because Trey reminded me about this. All right. I'm gonna y'all got to see this because my man Trey really and this is for my girl Reva TV.
I know her.
Love her. I love
She's
her
real good
channel.
people. Yeah.
Man, and plus, absolutely beautiful, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember when
check
she
this
first
out.
started. And she was struggle streaming. She's really good people.
Okay. No, I don't.
All right, check this out.
Well, I
So
gotta explain to him if you don't
if
sign
y'all
it.
don't know the background of this video, here's a couple in the A of all places, in the park after dark, and the man is there with his lady. They're from out of town, right? And the cop is basically saying, I'm gonna give y'all a ticket for being in the park after dark. You gotta sign the ticket, and then y'all can go call the number, do whatever. And after all of this happens, she files charges, a lawsuit for excessive force. But there's something that Trey showed me in the video that I want y'all to pay attention to. There's something I want y'all to pay attention to that Trey hit me to. Now, I'm going to let it play.
All right, so you're gonna receive a ticket for being in the park after hours. All right, just need to sign right here on the X.
But because we're out of, didn't you say we were out of time, so we wouldn't have known that?
Yeah, but that's not a valid reason why you should be in the park because you're from out of town.
And what's your back number?
7452.
Oh yeah, I've seen this video before.
Officer Brooks.
What's your first name?
I'm not gonna give you my first name.
Okay, and I don't have to sign this, right?
You do have to sign it.
No, I don't.
Now, you hear that?
Well, like I explained to him,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? No, I don't.
Did you hear that? Not only that, but do y'all notice this part right here? She walked back to the car. She walked back to the car. Do you know what if that would have been one of them good old boy, white boy cops? What is she going to get? I'm not even law enforcement, but what is she going to get?
Go and get one of them firearms.
Ed, I can tell you what happened. I'm former law enforcement. She would have been looking down the barrel of a 9. That's what would have happened. I can tell you that. I can tell you that without any question. If you go to your car like she just did, and you go in that car and grab something, I can guarantee you, if you catch the right good old boy on the right day, she would have been looking down the barrel of a gun.
Which puts both of them at risk. And but listen to the attitude, gentlemen. But I'm gonna pause the video and I want y'all to watch something thanks to Trey. He showed me.
What's the badge number?
I gave it to you 2 times, man.
Okay, I'm asking again.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Okay.
Are you gonna sign it?
No, because I want your badge.
No, and I'm no. I can't stop looking at Reason.
You want to put your hands behind your back for me? See, guys. Hey, listen, my man.
Right there. Tell him, Trey. Right there. Do y'all see what she did?
Resisting
Do y'all
arrest.
see what she did?
No.
No. Did you see what she did?
Watch. Look at her body. What did she do? And I only noticed because I've had this happen to me.
Oh, she snatched her hand away and went behind the dude.
She went behind the dude. Did you notice that, Pharaoh?
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the
She's not
time.
signing.
So what you have here, Ed, is you have a man who's cooperating. And he's leading by example, by cooperating.
Hey, listen, my man. She's not
cooperating.
Right there.
She's not cooperating. And as soon as things start to get hairy now, because he said, listen, you have to sign a ticket or else you're going to be arrested, which is par for the course. That's kind of how it goes, right? And immediately she puts the man in between her and the officer. She put this man's life in jeopardy, and he's actually cooperating. This is the little subtle things that women do that a lot of guys, if you're not paying attention, you don't even notice it.
Oh, I've been through that before. My ex-wife. I understand.
Hey, Trey, I really gotta give you props, dude, because I had watched that video and I was just so focused on how uncooperative she was. Right? There were two things that stuck out to me: how uncooperative she was, and how professional the cop was, how patient he was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. But go ahead, Trey. Yeah. She stepped.
Ed,
She
I've
put
been
in
in
there.
situations where we've been called out because he supposedly assaulted her and he didn't. And, somebody got to go because that's the law. So he's going to go. And the next thing you know, she on my back talking about why you locking him up.
Hey guys,
You
I'm gonna go
called
ahead and drop down. I appreciate you having me on. Just wanted to come up here and show you guys some love.
Hey,
I
Pharaoh, I'm
appreciate
gonna
you
try.
for real.
I'm gonna try to be there, man. At the end of the month.
All right, guys. Peace. This is not
Yeah.
peace. This is peace is only in unity, not separation. Peace and love, guys.
Take it easy. Thanks a lot,
All
bro.
right.
Thanks, man.
But yeah,
Yeah,
just
but
a lot of guys just have to pay more attention. That's all. You just gotta pay more attention. And once
hey,
you
dude,
start to see these little things, you'll start to see how much of a turnoff a lot of the things that these women do. And like I said, for me going overseas, it was about the humility. You know, I don't want to brag, but my girl's pretty good looking. Okay, she's Costa Rican, and she's pretty good looking. But the amount of humility that she has, right? It's unreal because she looks like she should be on the cover of a magazine. But you would never know that by the way she acts. She's got a great heart. She always wants to help people. You know what I mean? We went out before, and towards the end of a date, she wanted to go get a couple bottled waters, and I'm looking at her like, "What you need bottled water for?" She wanted to give it to the valets. She wanted to give a bottle of water to the valets because she's like, they work really hard. So I'm like, is one of them your cousin or your uncle or something? You know what I mean? Like, and she's like, no, I don't know them. She just has a big heart. You know what I mean?
well,
Like, they just different, bruh.
bro, it's like here in Siem Reap. There was they have a children's hospital, right? And basically they have two of them. They have Anchor Children's Hospital, which is like critical care stuff, and they have another hospital. And what happens here is that there are a lot of orphan babies. There are a lot of like the countryside girl that has a kid, and they don't have any money to feed them. So what these little kids would do, what these little girls would do, is that either they'll have the baby out in the countryside, or they'll come in to see him reap in the city, and they'll have the baby, and then they'll just leave the baby. You know what I'm saying? So when you walking into it's heartbreaking. But when you walk into like the maternity ward, there are all of these cribs with unclaimed babies. And dude, all of Sim is in her early 40s. I'm 52. She's like, baby, we're gonna have another kid. I'm like, shit, you better go find one. Because I ain't spitting out no more. Hell no. That means you find your boyfriend or some shit, because that's not gonna happen.
Come on,
But then
Ed.
she
Come
looked at
on,
me
come
and
on, Ed.
and she had
Hey, go ahead and
she,
give a woman what she want, Ed. Come
Go
on
get what
now.
you want, Ed.
no,
Stop
hell
being
no.
stingy, man. Stop being stingy, Ed.
She gonna come on, the baby gonna be crying, I'm gonna be crying, and it's gonna be a mess. But you know what she said to me, guys? She said, baby, she said, we have food, we have a room. She said, can't we get one of those babies? And man, it just blew me away because she was like, that was so heartfelt. We got food, we got a room, and he just broke it down to like it's basic human shit. You know what I mean? Sim loves to help, and her family has. And let me tell you, man, when we were out there, she has the 12-year-old. They all live in one house. I'm talking about her sister, the auntie. It's just one room, basically, right? And I noticed that the sister, when I call him baby boy Sohan, but when he got in the back of the pickup truck, she walks over there. You remember how them old people used to ball up money and hand it to you in your hand so nobody see? They're living out there with no running water. And they're giving Sims their nephew, $10. That $10 is a lot for them. You know what I'm saying? And you're right, it's the heart. And I'll tell you this, and y'all and Rubber Band Man will, and probably Trey too, because you've seen it. I'm gonna put it like this, man. Modern women are some of them are some of the most cold-hearted, non-caring, selfish, mean, cheat on you, laugh about it. There was a video, bruh, that I saw when I was on Facebook. And this brother said, confronted his wife. Now think about this, Rubber Man. His wife. He said, I took our son for a DNA test. You know what her answer was? What you do that for? Why? He said, I've always had questions. He said, and he's not my kid. Well, what does that have to do with anything? And he said, and then here we go. Don't you love him? I mean, now you're hitting in the man's heartstrings. You're hitting below the belt. Don't you love him? You've been the only dad he's known his whole life. Not once has she apologized or taken accountability for what she did. And then he said, but he said, I'm leaving and you getting out of here too. She said, well, you signed the birth certificate, so I'm going to get my support. Still no accountability. Still no accountability. Then he said, but you know the main reason I'm not staying with you? And she said, why? She said, because I looked in your phone and I saw the messages of you clowning me to your girlfriend. That this
Well,
So she knew the
not.
whole time.
hey,
She
look,
knew the whole
I'm
time.
gonna tell you right now, in court, you know what I'm saying? He ain't paying no child support because I got a buddy of mine who just found out he after 10 years of marriage, you know what I'm saying, that these two boys weren't him, but telling it wasn't his fault. The women in his family shamed him because he originally was gonna get a DNA test, and the women in his family shamed him into not getting it. The DNA test, they shamed him into not getting it, so he didn't get. But he eventually went and got it 10 years later, and the boys he had raised up, they were twins. They weren't even his. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when the girl got to court and she went to court and he had the DNA test with his lawyer, she her girlfriend talking about these kids are his. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to take care of them. And so his lawyer handed the copy of the DNA test to the done to the judge. Judge read through it. Judge said, you know what I'm saying, no child support, kids not here. Then she flipped the script and said, well, freaking Darius knew all the time the kids weren't here. Just the whole time you just said the kids were here. Now you saying that the dude knew all the time the
Yeah.
kids weren't here.
Yeah, Brooklyn kids saw the video. You could look in the man's face, man, and see how hurt he was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, I've been with Sim now for 5 years. Her daughters are in their 20s. And when her daughters walk up to me and hug me in their 20s and say, Dad, I love you. That, you know what I mean? Men we're caring people too. We have hearts. And my heart goes out to that brother because you're bonded with this kid now. But what kind of lowly, cold-hearted, deceitful, conniving ass woman are you to sit back? Yeah, I'm with you. You know, Mike, the state of California and the state of Georgia. My youngest kids, I know they're mine, but even the prosecutor, whatever, the victim, she said, sir, before you even think about doing, and this is a woman that works for the court, Trey. She said, before you even think about asking for a DNA test in the state of Georgia, marriage proves paternity. So if that child is born during your marriage, you're the father. And I said, what kind of fucking sense does that make?
Well,
Marriage proves paternity.
You know why, Ed? Because that would force the government to turn the mirror back on the woman, and they're not going to do that.
And also take care of that kid. They'd rather have
Exactly.
somebody on the hook for it.
Yeah, they're never going to turn that mirror back on the women and say, listen, you jacked this up. They're not going to do that. So they'd rather just put it on the men and just say, well, hey, you signed the birth certificate because it's not how it is here in Maryland. You signed the birth certificate. It's yours. And it's like, yeah, but it's not mine, and I can prove it. You know what I mean? And, well, we don't care.
Hey,
We
Mike
don't care.
Deasy, Jump Master, the state of California is the same way. The state of California, they can have a DNA test proving you're not the father, but it's a wrap. That's your kid. But what I'm saying is, I mean, my point was, we probably got all our horror stories, but I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. These women, man, the modern woman is so heartless, bro. They're so heartless. And again, what really makes me angry about it is this: is they now they're attacking the women from the era that raised me, my grandmother, a woman that they can't hold a candle to. You understand? The modern woman is going after her. Grandpa was cheating, this and that. She never left him. What? She handled it with class. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can't even hold a finger to her. You got grandmama twerking now. And one of the biggest reasons now is, listen, bro, and I'm going to say this to any brother that hears this, if you see the replay, if you have the means, the ability, the option, I ain't saying you got to leave the U.S. for good, but to at least leave and go see what me and Trey and other brothers like us have seen and felt. You never feel the same when you came back here. Ever. I don't think there's anything a modern woman can say to me in the States that's gonna make me switch. Never.
What's real powerful where you can come back from the States and when there's a young lady and she's interested in you and whatnot, and you say, baby, I'm sorry, but I don't date American women. Oh, not just you. I don't date American women at all.
Well,
That's some
you know what's so
powerful
wild
stuff right
about it?
there.
My boy that has been on the show before, they've been on live stream before. Jarius Blue the Globe. He's in the Air Force, so he had been in Germany, he had been in the Philippines, he had been in Okinawa, and then when he had some medical issues, he had to go back for treatment and rehab at Walter Reed, right? So he was in Maryland, right?
I was gonna say he
He
in
was
my neck of
there.
the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, he was up there. So whenever I used to talk to Jerry, she said, "Bruh," he said, "Man, I don't know what it is, man." He said, "I went out on 1 or 2 dates with these American women, dude, and I can't do it." He said, "Leaving Japan, leaving the Philippines." He said, "Matter of fact, I'm dating a Brazilian girl. She's Brazilian American in DC." He said, "It seems like all the women that I date now are foreign in some way. You know, fixing a plate, bruh. But not just that. Ron in the building. I just did that in my 20 years. I will never be. Yeah, after the Air Force. Yeah, the military. I put it like this: femininity is their currency, and you can't fake femininity. You can't fake it. Trey, it's just like when you sat there and said what you were gonna wear when you went out. You know what I'm saying? You
And she
know,
and she and she told me straight up, baby, you don't need to wear that. I said, you sure? I said, you sure? She said, baby, you don't have to do that. But it's the way she said it, Ed. It wasn't reprimanding me or talking to me like she was my mama. You could tell that she was saying it like, no, I mean it. Like I care about you. Like you don't have to do all that. You know what I mean? And it was the
yeah.
way she said it. I could just look at her and just go, ah, you know what I mean? Like that light bulb goes, ah, that's femininity. You know what I mean? Like, ah, I get it now.
It's the and like Mike, my jump ass friend said, when the kid grows up and finds out the truth, it might be crazy for the mom when that young adult goes off. Yeah, they got a right to be resentful. Now we have a person who become but
Yeah, that
again, it
remi-
goes
that,
back
that
to the
reminds me of that.
selfishness.
That reminds me of that video of the guy. He was on an interview and he was talking about how his mom had lied to him about his dad all these years. And then when he finally went and talked to his dad was like, "What are you talking about?" And he shows him all this documentation of all the money that he sent his mom, and he had all this documentation. He's like, "This woman has been lying pretty much my entire life." You know what I mean? Like That's just to your point, Ed. They are cold. They are, bro. Some of them cold, bro.
Well, hey, it's like rubber band. It's like when them sisters were coming at me about, yeah, you made the videos about the women getting evicted. I said, first of all, if you look past the title, past the thumbnail, which I doubt you did, right? I said specifically, I took no pleasure, no pride in watching black families, regardless whether they're single mothers not being put out on the street. I've been evicted before. It's nothing fun, right? And I didn't have kids. But I said, but let me ask you this one question. What if this channel would have been Edna Travels and he would have been showing videos of brothers getting thrown in the street? Y'all be having a goddamn party. Laughing y'all, woo, look at that sorry ass nigga there. Da, 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 da. I said, that's what makes it so hard for anybody to have sympathy for you. Right? Because exactly what I'd say to him now. Oh, you don't open doors for us. No, you got it. You independent. You got it. And Brooke said, I had a lady in my church say that she was interested in me. I told her, oh, that's nice of you, but I have yeah. Bruh. Hey, dude, at the end did y'all see the video of the girl, the woman that had the meltdown because she needed a hug?
Bro, that was wild. But I know I was wrong, bro. I laughed so hard, Ed.
Bro, you ain't the only one.
So hard, bro.
I don't care.
You know why?
I don't care.
That happens every night. My girlfriend of mine in Atlanta told me, she said, Ed, all my girlfriends, we sit around. She said, stop the cap shit. When I was in Atlanta, I got to talk about golf. They used to hate me because I've been saying this shit to these women, to the hyenas for years. That's why I got kicked out of so many places in Atlanta. I used to tell these chicks in Atlanta, y'all roll in a foursome, just like golf. Y'all got a 10, right? You got about an 8. You got about a 5 or a 6, and you got the fat girl. That's what makes up the foursome, because the 10 ain't never going to have no competition. She ain't going to have another 10. She going to have an 8, and then the 6 or the 5 going to be fine as hell, but she probably ugly as hell, but she thick, and then the fat girl. Because that's how those women roll. Y'all roll. You see them when you in Atlanta. You saw them, bruh. They in groups, and they sitting there, and all they doing is recycling bad advice to each other. Right? They're recycling bad advice to each other. And when it's almost like, do you know what the one thing that they hate to see more than anything in this world is a happy black man.
Happy black man. Listen, bro, Ed. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to Costa Rica next week, and my sister, she said, I don't understand. I know you was in the military and you travel, but why do you have to date overseas? And I said to her, well, I want you to think about something. Why would a man need to go to Costa Rica to go date if there are women here in America? And that's all I say. I said, I'm just going to ask you that one question. Take your time. When you come up with an answer, call me back. We ain't never talked about it since. We ain't talked about it since, because she knows, yeah, it's not the men, it's y'all. If men are creatures of habit, and we like the road that's easiest, right? We don't want to have to, tear down the forest. You know what I mean, to get to something.
No,
you know what I mean? If I could grow a tree in my backyard, I'll just do it right then and there. I don't want to have to put in all this work. So most guys don't really want to have to go overseas. They don't really want to. If the product was better here in America, they would just stay here in America, and they would consume the product here in America. But the product isn't good. It's not good. And I've said this before. A lot of these women, y'all too broke to have the attitudes y'all got. Like y'all overpriced. You're overpriced. You got hella debt. You got tens of thousands of dollars in debt, right? And you the attitude that you have, it doesn't correlate. It doesn't measure up. You shouldn't have been talking shit. Your dude should be a $50,000 a year earner, or somewhere in that realm. But do you think because you make $50,000 that I saw a girl? She's a single mom. She's talking about she want a dude that make $500,000 a year.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
What the hell you talking about? What are you talking about?
One thing I made a vow on my channel that, and unless it really moves me, that I'm not gonna show a Kevin Samuels video, because I think that you know, they've been a lot of channels now that's all their channel is, right? Is replaying his stuff. But I watch a lot of his content still. And it's this unrealistic, delusional expectations, bro. Where this chick came out and said, you need to buy me this, a man needs to do this, this, and this. And she said, but I'm 5'3", 212.
Right, right. I remember that.
And I'm sitting there looking
She
like
weighs more than me. She weighs more. I'm 5'11". I'm 203. She weighs more than me.
hey, bro, I remember me and Sim going out to dinner. And it was a buffet, bro. And everybody getting to go to the buffet. And I'm sitting down in my chair. I'm about to get up. Sim walks over with my plate at a restaurant. And you know what, though? And I'm going to be honest with you. It makes me want to do better for her. It makes me want to be a better man, a better provider, a better protector. Because you know what I know? I get love and appreciation from her and respect. Baby, thank you so much for this. Baby, thank you so much for this. Baby, thank you so much for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said if it would have been Edna Travel, they would have been celebrating because, yeah, exactly. Just like if I'm an older man and I go out of the country and I find a younger woman that's creepy, but if she go out and do it, then she's getting her groove back. You know, that same old bullshit.
It's only creepy in America. It's only creepy in America.
And I asked the question to Rubber Band Man before. I said, do you think that there's any hope for these sisters in the long run? Do you think that there's going to be some sort of cosmic shift in their mindset?
Hell no, bro.
That's going to change it?
No, bro.
You answered that real quick.
Yeah, man. Because the process has already started. The great replacement has already started. I mean, the process is in full gear. I mean, there's nothing that they're gonna be able to do to change it. I was watching a old clip. It was his brother. I forgot his name. He was and he had Courtney Michelle on there, unsolicited security boss, and a couple other ladies. And one lady, she was older. She'd been a single mom her whole life, and she finally got her man, but she got her, she got her cleanup man. All right, and also the security boss said, she said this. Well, what we got to do is get the women ready. And I typed in the chat. I said, "Done ready for what?" I said, "The problem is you guys don't know that you're already losing. Excuse my friend. I mean, you're already losing. The men are leaving. I mean, and not just the white collar guys. It's guys who are blue collars. You know what I'm saying? Now, just like Dennis Sterling said, some of them are going to come back and they're going to bring their wives back and they're going to get their plan together to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's already happening. I mean, it's too far gone. It's too far gone.
Yeah, I'm actually on the other end of this. I actually think that I think that once the white women in majority, once they by and large say, yeah, we figured it out and we were wrong, I think that the black women will follow behind. I think, did you see the video of the 10 white women who were like, we were wrong, we're sorry? Did you see that video, Ed?
No, I think I saw part of it. Was it like
they were on a live stream?
Remorseful feminists or something like that?
Yeah, they were on a live stream and were basically apologizing, like, we're sorry that we put our jobs before you. This is 10 white women. We're sorry we put our jobs before you. We're sorry that we thought that money meant more than the family. I think once that snowball effect starts to happen within another race group, I think black women will look at it and say, okay, maybe we made a mistake too. Because they have a tendency.
Thanks a lot.
Well, hang on. They have a tendency to follow behind the white women. I mean, we look at
that's what Mulatto just put up.
Yeah,
he said
they
American
have a
black
tendency
women
to
follow white women's lead. Yeah, I mean they followed them, but see what they fail to realize with white women is white women, in my view, started feminism to get access to their men's resources. Right? They didn't start feminism to say we don't need our men.
They were going home to their husbands.
Exactly. They were married. These feminists were married. But all of a sudden, here come the hyenas. Here come the hyenas. All these little chicks. Here come the hyenas. And all of a sudden, they come out there. I don't need a man. I don't need this. And all of a sudden, brothers are like, you know what? I'm out.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and like you said, they hate to see a happy black man. And what I found, in my travels, what I found is that these foreign women, they appreciate, first of all, they appreciate black culture in general, whether they were introduced to it from TV's music, whatever it is. But once they get to see like a black person, a brother that's got a little swag about him, they're almost like, well, damn, and then we want to, and we want to project and we want to take care of what's up, Global Exec. We want to take care. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I don't mind using my resources to come here and buy a house, start a business. I learned a long time ago. If I just come here to Cambodia and I give her money, I've set the tone for our relationship from the beginning. It's gonna be transactional. She's gonna, because any woman to get lazy, don't forget they still women. Let's not forget that. There is no utopia. But if I sit down with her and say, hey, listen, if you do X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't let her tuk-tuk bar into where all the festivities were going, right? I said, look, go buy 2 cases of beer. Just go, I'm gonna send you some money. Get 2 cases of beer. Take the most popular liquor off your bar and set it up on the table with a cooler of ice and some cups. Then I said, go buy 2 5, the big 5-gallon things of water for them to refill their water guns. Because where they gonna find water for their water guns? Then she sent me a video. She sent me a video of her selling the water and the water guns. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, let me do this. I want to show you because I want to show this. Present. Let me stop screen. Stop sharing. Where is it at? Stop sharing. And I want to share the screen. Right? Where is it at? Facebook. Okay, here we go. This is her. Cooler. Refilling a super soaker. Right? I mean, and she was like, oh man, that's a great idea. Let me just go ahead and do that. And if she made, if she charged them $1 each time they refill it, you know what I'm saying? That's 4,000 real. You see what I'm saying? But the average woman here, that's beneath me. That's beneath me. In other words, what did this one woman say? Yeah, my fiance was rubbing my face, telling me that I was beautiful, and everyone laughed. And no, mom, I'm gonna tell you something about Filipino women. They got an advantage because they speak English and they give you the girlfriend experience from day one, from the first day you meet them. That's how Filipino women are. But my thing is this: is I can't tell you how many times I told Sim that she don't need to work. I said find something that keeps you busy, right? You know what she told me? She said, and she said it with such like stress on her face. She said, baby, but you pay every day. You pay for me. Every day you take care of kids. You buy food. You pay for house. You pay electric. And then she got this funny way of saying, I can see she's worried about something, but she doesn't know how to say worry. So I said, Sim, what's wrong? She said, I think. I just think. I think it's so cute. I really do. But you know, who gives a damn about your degree? And Trey, you know that was another video that I saw the other day of Kevin Samuels. Woman leaves her husband because she said he's a janitor, but he's there to see his son several days a week. Several days a week, not just weekends, but she left because she got her bachelor's and her master's and she went to nursing school. But he wouldn't elevate himself. And then Kevin Samuels said, hold on. He said, did you work all the way through your undergrad? And did you have student loans? And reluctantly, she was like, yeah, you know, I had to work part-time. And well, he said, well, who paid the bills? And who paid your student loan debt? The janitor. Then when she got her RN, she leaves him, takes the kids, and she was making a grand total of $55,000 a year. They heartless and they're not loyal.
And this has always been one of the points that's been made, that when women get to a point where they start to make money, their thought process is how to get out. You know what I mean? Men make money and we try to figure out how to bring more people in. How can we take care of our family? How can we do more for our family? But women, when they start, especially in America, they start making money, their thought process is how can I be more independent? I got my money now.
Hey, the same thing happened to me.
That's a prime example from her right then and there, and it's a mistake. I just watched a video of a woman saying, I shouldn't have left my husband. And she was talking about
I saw that video, Trey.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Man?
The black lady with the glass. Yeah, man. She got ran through.
Yep.
She said she got ran through. Well, I won't take that back. She tried to clean it up and said she woke up there was a different man in bed. No, sister, you got ran through. They ran through you. Hey, look, man. No, hey, look, the same thing happened to me, man. Hey, man. So my ex started making more money than me. You know what I'm saying? She got a government job, making way more money than I did, and she's looking for a way out. Then after that, she started talking to these women in the church. You know what I'm saying? In the church, and all of a sudden, it was, it's looking for someone done bigger and better. So it's can't do no with it. Just leave.
Hey, Rubber Band Man, my ex thought she made more money than me. How about this? We made the same amount of money because we went through the academy at the same time. So we essentially were in the same grade, right? And so we made the same amount of money. But she used to work a lot of overtime. And what she failed to realize is, well, you were allowed to work the overtime you wanted to work because I stayed home with our daughter. So you could go and go work. You wanted to go make the extra money? Go make it. I'm not going to stop you, right? She always forgot about that. But her thought process is, well, I'm making more money than you. No, sweetheart, you're not making more money than me because I invest my money. My money was making more money than both of us combined. She had no idea because I never told her. We never shared finances. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of, bruh. And immediately what she started to think was, I don't need him. I can do this on my own. And then she didn't realize until she decided to take me to court. Wait, he got how much money? You know what I mean? Like she was sitting there like, wait, what is going on? She couldn't understand it. It didn't make any sense because in her mind, she always thought she made more money than me.
It's funny you say that, man, because and just like Ed brought up, you got a lot of women. Everybody talks about the 20-some-year-olds that get ran through, but it's a lot of women that are busting up their marriages to go to basically go run the streets, and they find out when they get in like it's simple logic and mathematics. There is more women than men on the planet. So the men and one day I was telling a BW this. Okay, let's say hypothetically, God is a female. Okay, I said okay. I said well then you as a woman should be mad at God because God put all the God made more women than men. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, in the dating market, the advantage is in my favor. And after that, she got quiet. She couldn't say nothing. I said, think about it. I said, it's more women than men. So when you break up with a good man, I said, you really hurting yourself long term because that man can go down the street to the next hour to hour or whatever, and they'll meet another woman who will easily take your place.
You know what, Rubber Band? I have to admit, I do have to admit, I used to always before these times, I used to always say if a man and a woman broke up in the U.S., that the woman can be in a relationship quicker than the man, and I had to rephrase that. She can get blowed out quicker than you can. You know, yeah, she can find a brother to blow her back out within 5 minutes of leaving your ass. She probably already got him on retainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He probably already there. But when it comes to, it's like me and my ex-wife, it was like when she got remarried, and it's weird watching your ex-wife do the same shit to you, same shit to her new husband that she did to you. Right? And it would always manifest itself, guys, when I went up to North Carolina to pick the kids up. Feel me? Because I would, me and him were cool. I had no issue with dude. So I would go to his job. That's where the kids were. He worked at Fayetteville State. I go pick the kids up. He would be like this, man. He have all this shit packed up. And he be pushing their ass out the door.
You goddamn right he had them ready.
Yeah,
ready to
man,
go.
no. And then I'm like, oh man. So and I wasn't trying to be nosy all in the man's business, but I would be like, hey man, what y'all doing this weekend? He said, oh man, no man, I'm rolling out of town with my boys, man. We going fishing, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, that nigga done. He's done with her ass. And then before you know it, the kids told me, oh yeah, he don't live there no more. Because now she would never come and tell me that they were getting a divorce. No, hell no. Hell no. It wasn't until I asked her. She was like, oh, yeah, we went our separate ways, blah, blah, blah. And I had that moment where I could have gut punched the ass, but I didn't. But she did the exact. And then when me and him got a chance to talk, he said, man, I don't even know how you put up with that bullshit. I said, that's why I was at the wedding with a big ass gift. When y'all got married, I was the first brother there.
Hey, Ed, let me tell you a true story real quick, Ed. So obviously me and my daughter's mom, we broke up, right? And she had started dating this new guy, and I guess they had gotten serious. So it was at the point where it was time for us to meet, right? And when I went and met him, he was a cool dude. I had no issues with him. But when we got introduced, I offered him a hug. I'm like, hey, bruh, like, come here. And like he looked so shocked. He was like, what? Because he was expecting to shake my hand. I'm like, nah, bruh, hug. So he gave me the hug. He was like, all right. He gave me the hug. He said, man, what was that about? I said, oh, you're going to need it. Trust me. You're going to need a whole lot of hugs. You'll find out here in a little bit when her true colors start to show. She started to show you who she truly is. I shit you not. About 4.5 months, Ed, after they broke up, we bump into each other in a Target. And he said, man, yep. He said, man, you was right, bruh. He said, how you have a baby with her? I said, well, she wasn't like that before the baby. I said, something changed. When that baby came, something changed. Something snapped in her head. I don't know what it was, but she wasn't like that. We talking about a woman who used to make my lunch and used to leave me notes in my car. She was a sweetie. She was wrong. So that baby came, she turned into a different person, bruh. I said, but I already knew. I could see it on your face. You was confused. You didn't know what to do. That's why I offered you the hug, bruh, because I knew what you was going through. She's never going to be able to find someone until she starts to work on herself. A lot of women don't understand that concept.
Yeah, go ahead, Rubber Band.
Hey, Trey, we got a saying down in Mississippi: when a child is born, what I'm saying, a person's true nature will always show.
Yeah, hey, dude, I'm gonna tell you this.
And I didn't even want to make it seem like it was all on her. Literally, bro, she became a different person. She started talking about wanting to get an au pair and an in-house nanny. I'm like, what are you talking? We ain't got that kind of money. What are you talking about? Like it's
Yeah,
like it's like she flipped into another person, bro.
hey, dude. After her husband left her, she was like, "Yeah, you don't owe any more support." No, but I just send the kids when they needed some. She said, "Well, I could use some help."
Nah, she
She was
ain't say
like,
that. Nah, she
"Yeah,
ain't
she
say
did.
that.
Yeah, she did." She was like, I got. Now listen to the delusion. I just upgraded to a 5 series from a 3 series, living in a big ass house where both the kids are in college now. So she's the only one there. I said, well, shit, get a goddamn smaller car and a smaller apartment. I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck.
you should be downgrading. Yeah.
You were a stay home mom when you were with me. And I said, do you remember what I told you? You're going to find out the difference between being a stay home mom and being a single mom. And I said, that's a huge goddamn difference. And you didn't listen to me. And it was even, it's just the delusion, even after it's over, and running back and telling her family, oh, he was abusive to me, he cheated. I mean, they like out the playbook. It's a lack of respect. Hey, look, I want to show y'all this because my jump master guy, Mike Deasy. Why is Sarah Wilson making single women songs about not needing a man when she has a whole Russell Wilson? Let me tell you, first of all, 2 things. That's the record label. They need to keep the hyenas buying the records, right? So she can. But I want y'all to watch this video, and I want y'all response. I want y'all response to this, dog. Because when I saw this, I would have pushed out of that plane. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have pushed the ass out of that plane. This is Sierra and Russell Wilson.
What you just say, babe?
Just think. What you said? You said you don't need no man?
I said, smart girls get money. Smart girls don't need no man.
Hey, you don't need me. You don't need.
I want you.
Just all right without.
You hear what she said? She said, "Smart girls get money."
I need you. You don't need me. You don't need.
I want you.
She said, "I want you, but I don't need you." Now listen to this simp.
Independent.
She's independent. But
Does he say but I need you? Is that what he's saying?
Hey, I need you too, but you know what I'm saying.
And do a second. Don't play it back to when she smiles, because she smiles just like a hyena right there.
I need you too, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Right there, right there, right there. Hyena
absolutely.
smile right there.
Hey man, but bro, did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said?
Hey, did you hear what he said?
I need you.
But I need you.
Oh,
simp boy. So hey, look, hey man, hey, look. Everybody think that the simp brigade is guys who are poor and low income. No, the simp brigade is cats who got money too.
Bro, hey Trey, I was so speechless, bros. I was so speechless.
But
I was so speechless.
But I need you. Come on, bro.
And then she sat back and looked at him. She said, she said, I don't need you, but I want you. And then, do you know how these hyenas try to disguise it? They try to laugh. They try to act like it's a joke. She ain't joking. She ain't joking. What's up, Daniel J? She ain't joking. You know what she doing? And y'all heard it here first, and I know y'all heard it a couple other places. He's already reached the max contract. Russell Wilson is on his way out, and you know that simp did not sign a prenup.
Yep.
And she going right back to Future.
And you know what? And she got 3 kids. And she got 3 kids by him too. She got 3 kids by Russell. So she made sure she got 3 kids. She made sure of that.
She ain't never leave Russell. I mean, never leave Future. Future been hitting that thing since the beginning. Trust me. The shit that ship ain't stopped.
You know what, but Ed and Trey, I gotta ask y'all a question, man. And the question I ask is this, man, is since these hyenas are now out in the open right now, the world is seeing it. They're seeing it globally in Thailand, Cambodia. They're seeing it overseas. I mean, you got hyenas. You know what I'm saying? Calling African women dirty foot. What I'm saying? How they gonna try to clean this up? Because I know Trey said a lot of them gonna change. Trey, I hear you, but I don't see them changing, man, because the damage is so done. No, so what's the last trick? What I'm saying, that they gonna pull?
Hey, bro, I think the level of delusion. Well, it's hard for me to rock with the fact that they're gonna change. To me, it's gonna have to be some cataclysmic shit that's gonna start to happen where they're gonna try to make it to seem cool, like they want to be married now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's clearly not working for them, and it's only so long that they can blame it on us. And now Ron, me and Trey still looking at each other. We think about what Sierra said. He said so disrespectful.
Hey, look, you know what I would have done? You know the beginning of that Batman movie with Bane, and he throw throw them all out the plane. That's what I would have thrown her ass out. I would have opened that door and just tossed her right out of that damn plane.
Sierra ass would have been airborne that day. You better believe that.
He's airborne. You would have been airborne that day.
You've been airborne that day. I would say, man, open the door. It's time for it. I mean, dude, the man in me, the male chromosomes in my motherfucking DNA would have went the fuck off. I mean, she wouldn't have showed that video. It would have been. It would have been some furniture moving, bro.
Ed, because the reason why I asked that question, that Sierra thing ties into this. Okay,
she had 2 kids, Brooklyn. She had 2 kids.
Yeah. All right. So now you got ABWs rolled up on white men, called them racist. You know what I'm saying, for not wanting to go out with them and stuff. I mean, it's gotten that bad now. I mean, you really got. I mean, there's a white dude who was on Pablo's show, and this sister tried to basically call him racist because he wouldn't go out with her. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
hey, they feeling the heat, bro. Hey, what did you say, Rubber Band Man? The wall is undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. You go 15 rounds with it, but when that judge,
hey, Rubber Band Man, they did the same thing to the white guy. Remember the white guy? He said he's going to go on a date in every state.
Yeah.
Remember that? He went on a date in every state, and none of the girls in any of the state were black, and they called him racist. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
how is he racist?
He dated a lot of
emotional damage.
He dated a lot of brown skinned Latinos too.
Yeah,
he dated them.
Yeah, he did.
Kevin Samuel said that Becky ain't a black woman's biggest threat. Is that Latina?
That Latina #1 threat.
And I am here to confirm. I can confirm it. Listen,
hey, bro. Hey, she went down. Hey, let me show you something. I ordered 924. I ordered a 6-pack of beer. She said, "No, baby, you doing your show. Let me go downstairs and walk out to the gate and go get it for you."
What?
Yeah, that's where she just went. No, let me tell you something, man. I was down in Colombia. I said, "Man, the hell with you. You crazy. These Latin women are out of their goddamn minds. I'm not about to let you kill me. Get the hell out my place." She said, "Okay, I'll leave. She walked down the steps. I said, "You ready to go?" She said, Poppy, me and more. I said, "God damn it."
Boy, it gets you every time, don't it?
Well, but I was like this, man. You like a little kid floating back. No, when she said that, Poppy, mi rico te amo, I said, "Oh my God." Hey, again, it's that femininity. Hey, look, dude, I'm gonna tell you this.
Hey,
these women around the world got a long memory, man. And I can't see these sisters taking girl trips to all these countries where they've been bashing women.
No, man.
Ed, my girl sent me a message 2 days ago, and she said, I'm thinking about you. I said, I'm thinking about you too. And then she says, I can't wait to cook for you. And I damn near dropped my phone, Ed. I said, well, dang, go on.
It's funny, man, because now you got women in Africa making videos, telling passport bros to come to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Come to Africa. You know, so we'll treat you good. We'll cook for you. You You know what I'm saying? Give you a lot of babies and everything. You know what I'm saying?
And
It get bad.
they keep want to talk about this dollar getting weak and stuff. My money I ain't had no problems overseas with my money. My money working just like everybody else's money. And I think even the women in Africa are starting to understand this. Like, listen, if these guys don't want the women in their own country, why don't we get a piece of that?
Oh
Go
Lord.
ahead, Ed.
Oh
Why
yes
you
sir,
doing
yes
that,
sir.
Ed? Come on, Ed.
Yes sir, yes sir. And play the slow mo, Ed. Play the slow mo, Ed. Slow mo.
Bruh.
Hey,
Bruh.
you can't compete with that, Ed. They can't
No,
compete with
man.
that. They can't compete with that.
That's the number one competition.
No, and they a dime a dozen.
They everywhere.
When you walk down there, and the thing is, man, you see them get off the bus, and all they're doing is this: pulling their hair back in that ponytail, no makeup or very, very little makeup.
You
know what I'm saying?
And I'm seeing it here, man.
Ed, I went to Ipanema Beach and Copacabana.
Yeah.
My eyes damn near popped out of my head. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, bro. I was like, they all like this? All of them like this?
And it's happening here, dude. Here in the States, man. The place where I live at, you got all these immigrant Latinos going there, and the ones that ain't got no man, and they snatching up brothers left and right. I mean, they
Hey, bro, a
snatching.
5 is an 8. A 5 is a 9. You know what I'm saying? You bring it back,
yeah.
and then
That
it show
scale's so
you.
jacked up. That scale's so jacked up now.
Hey, dude, to show you how full these modern women are themselves. Hey, Daniel, you wrong for that, bro. Kanye, he said, yeah, they are a bunch of freaky ones. It takes 5 or 6 meats for a girl. Yeah. Oh, no, they're not going to cook for you in the States even after 5 or 6. You might not want to eat it. Kanye 10. Do you really need? Yeah, Kanye 10. Hey, Daniel, I got to give it to you, bro. Kanye Diaz. Yeah, bro. Hey, on top of that, first of all, looking at that every day is not hard on the eyes, bro.
At all.
It ain't at all. And then to wake up to somebody that got that big smile on her face and that personality who, come on, man. You come back to the States, but you be kicking the back of the chair in front of you on the flight. Like that, I don't even want to go
look,
back.
Ed, not only that, she that fine in the morning. The hair's up in a ponytail. She's smiling. She's happy to see you. She's saying good morning. And she asking you want bacon or sausage? That's what she asking. You want bacon or sausage?
Hey, look.
Come on,
bro. Come on.
Hey,
what
look, man.
do you want me to cook?
Hey, look, man. Hey, look, man. The same thing going on up in the Netherlands and in Norway and Sweden, man. Hey, those Swedish chicks are trying to bring in as many brothers from Caribbean and Africa by the boatload. I'm talking. They literally trying to bring them in. If you go to the IG, there's a red haired white girl from Sweden. Her name is Hannah BBC. You know what I'm saying? And and that, yeah, and the thing that she promotes is, she be showing up in Sweden, man, like she got these statistics, and these Swedish chicks are trying to bring in as many brothers as they can. You know what I'm saying? They got the Africans there, so now the Caribbean brothers, so now they trying to bring in, so they trying to reach out to African American brothers to bring them to Sweden, bro.
Hey, look, I'm gonna offer this too. I think that brothers we contributed to the situation in a way. I think it was in an innocent way, and Kevin Samuels talked about this too, right? Black men been too nice to these sisters, man.
True.
We've been too nice because 80% of black men marry black women. That's who raised us. Both of I had 2 ex-wives. Both of them were black. I never really dated outside my race. But it just got to the point where they, the modern black woman, and now the American woman, is not a good business decision. It's not a viable option. Financially, she's gonna take you to court and rape you. All she got to do, Trey, you in law enforcement, the DV is on her side. You know what I'm saying? And then
Oh,
on top of that, you got
and
guys.
I've been taken to court, Ed. I'm on child support. I've been taken to court. So
Yeah, yeah, I've been
it
too.
ain't fun. It ain't fun at
Don't.
all.
Hey, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was the DA when my child support came through Alameda County. Kamala Harris, the VP. No, Alameda.
You was
When I
definitely paying.
when I went to Alameda, when I went there to pay my child support, my was my next to last payment. I just happened to be in Northern California. When I walked into their office, bro, they had to buzz you in the door. They had 2 security guards, and they were behind bulletproof glass. I said, "Yep, I'm at the child support office." There's some mad Negroes walking up in here.
Who is that? Is that Brooklyn kid that made that point? That's the other point too. It's not just the person you dating. They family like that. You know what I mean? Like the person you with, she's like that. But then her cousins could be like that, or her
Yep,
sisters the
preach.
same way. You know what I mean? I'm glad Brooklyn Kid said that. It's the whole family. It's
Hey, homie.
They all in the
Hey,
kitchen cooking.
hey,
They
hey,
all in the kitchen.
hey,
Hey,
cuz,
you
hey, I can tell you from a 14-year relationship, I dodged the bullet because the whole family, the mama, I mean, the sister, the sister married a simp, but black man, he got 5 kids uh, by 5 kids by other women, and man, I dodged the bullet. You know what? I sit back and I thank the Most High every day for the breakup.
no,
I dodged the bullet.
I'm saying overseas. Like overseas,
Okay.
like if your girl is that way, but her sister is the same way too. You know what I mean? Like I'm overseas, and her sisters and cousins will come in there. You good? You need anything to drink? You thirsty? You know what I mean? They all it's the culture. It's the way they were raised.
Culture, yeah, culture, yeah, culture.
And look, can y'all see this on the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Now, see, those are Sim's daughters, sisters, aunties. All the women are there. They're all there cooking, right? If I move the video back, all the men are in one area. You see that? They cooked the food, they brought the food over. All the women are in one area. The older ladies and see the kids in the background eating on the steps. Let me move it forward a little bit. See the kids back there behind them? All the women in this one area. They still preparing food for everybody. And that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. They all cook and everybody, yeah, you're right, Brooklyn. The whole family there, he says, oh yeah, when I was in my fiance and her sisters made me shrimp and crabs for my breakfast. Yeah. That's what they do. But bro, it's almost like I had this woman ask me, well, what do you think I am? Your slave? What you gonna do for me? I said, God damn. What am I gonna do for you? Am I your slave? Bruh, my grandfather used to come home in the afternoon. We lived in the country in Alabama. He used to come in the house, go up and go wash his hand, do whatever, take off his work clothes. Y'all remember the snack tray? When you unsnap it on one side, and my
Yeah,
grandmama
yeah.
my grandmama used to go put that up like this. She used to get that big old piece of chicken, the biggest piece of chicken. Macaroni and cheese, collard greens, yams, cornbread, all homemade, and a mason jar full of iced tea every day. She did that for him. And these women now can't even compete. They can't compete. There's no way. And you know what else? You might see this when you go travel over there and say that she do have some sisters and cousins that are about her age. All of them audition. Do you have a friend? Do you have a brother? Do you have a homeboy? They all audition because let's keep it real, gentlemen. You're affording her a life that she can normally never get. We gotta be honest about it. If you're making 50 grand, 60 grand, you're in the top, 5% in that country. 1%. I'm sorry, 1%. in that country. And if you're treating her with respect, I think it's a win-win. She's giving you something. She's giving you the respect, the attention, the appreciation. She's making you feel loved, welcomed. And then you're providing for her. Because think about this. Imagine what you'd be paying in the States if you was in the same scenario and not getting any of that emotionally. Hell no. No, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. So you guys, so Trey thinks that they're gonna change if the white woman change. Rubber Band Man says ain't no hope for him. It's a wrap.
No, man. I mean, and look, man, it just not. And don't get it wrong. I hear what Trey said. Some will change. Some will change. Then you got some. They're gonna do like that Bell there. They're gonna try to go 15 rounds with the wall. You know, I mean, don't get it wrong. You got some going 15 rounds. You got your Bernice Burgos. I mean, give credit. She's 40 years old. Don't get it wrong. She looking tough. But see,
Woo, that girl look good.
All that she had to admit. She admitted on the Breakfast Club.
She had the work done.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, she had work done.
She had work
look,
done.
But answer the question.
If you go have work done, it need to look like that.
Yeah.
All right. So
it need to look.
So
like
let me
that.
ask y'all this: we talked about Russell Wilson earlier, and my man, Jumpmaster, my man Mike Deasy mentioned Will Smith. You know, in the big three of simping, right? How in the hell could you bring me on whatever it is, the Red Table Talk, and humiliate me in that way? Humiliate. It was beyond emasculating the brother, man. How?
It's called jealousy, man. You know. I mean, Will was the more talented actor, than she was. Even though Will provided her with a life of luxury, he funded her her dumb production company. He funded it. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? There's no limelight on her. And I guess that was her way of trying to get back at Will, even though this man funded all your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Her production company, you know what I'm saying? He funded that. He funded that. Yeah. I mean, he funded all that stuff. Everything.
Yeah, they hitting the wall now.
Yeah, in the wall. Hey, look, like I told y'all, man. Look, next year I'm gonna start back traveling. Like I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? They trying to go 15 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it wrong. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The wall is undefeated. I mean, don't get it wrong. I saw Bernie's Burger. I'm like, good Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it's her, you know what I'm saying? And there's another one, you know what I'm saying, called Asia Diaz. You know what I'm saying? Asia Diaz is another one. She fine too. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They trying to go 15 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, here come that bell. You know what I'm saying? Here come the guy. And still undefeated and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the Wall.
But see, what the ladies in the States also don't realize is this. They feel that they got all the time in the world. Right? You know, I can get the degree, I can do this, and then finally I can do this. Whereas the women overseas, dude, if they're 18, 19 years old, they get married.
Hey, what's that phrase about Big Truck Series? Big Truck Series review when Big Truck he be making that impersonation of the guy from Japan. No Christmas cake. No Christmas. No Christmas cake. No
Emotional damage.
In Japan, they brutal, man. If you over 25, they call you a Christmas cake. No Christmas cake.
Hey, dude, they doing it here. Listen, see, what I don't understand is this, and I guess maybe it's just the way that I'm wired. And anybody who's done business knows that if you have the leverage, that's your biggest, that's your biggest asset in any negotiation. Right or wrong, if you have the leverage.
Yeah.
And the way that I saw it,
yeah,
before I left the States was, all right, I don't owe no back child support. I don't owe no back taxes. I might not have the money that I really need, but this little disability check and this little retirement gonna come through for the most part, right? So why am I here dealing with this shit? You know what I'm saying? Why am I dealing with this? So if I can go somewhere else where I can get, I got a better choice, I got more options, then why not do it? That's why I don't understand guys like Russell Wilson. I really don't. I
Well,
don't
see
understand guys like that.
what the problem with Russell was dating a white girl. The problem is he caught hell from all those single mama black football players in Seattle because he wasn't black enough. So he felt the pressure from Don Pablo Escobar. We did a show on that. We were talking about, and so did SKC, and we were talking about the pressures of the community. You know what I'm saying? Because Russell was it's from here in Virginia. He come from a 2-parent household, Christian household. His mom and dad are college professors at HBCUs from a very respectable family. You know what I'm saying? Now his first girlfriend at university was white. So, but he caught a lot of hell from, the Richard Sherman and all those guys on the Seattle Seahawks who came from a single parent household because he didn't act like them, talk like them, so he wasn't black enough for them. So therefore, once him and the white girl done broke up in the bad, okay, to get that respect and credibility from the community, you know what I'm saying? He hollers at Sierra. Hey, where the white women, you know what I'm saying? So that way he can get, what I'm saying? But they still clown him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They still clown him.
Oh.
Hey, where are the white women at?
No Christmas cake, man. Here you go. No Christmas cake. See, I ain't lying. No Christmas cake.
Oh my God. Hey man,
Hey, listen. If Russell was happy with the white girl, and she was doing what she's supposed to do, playing her position, that's where he should have stayed. Because what he did was, if he left the girl, if that didn't work out with the white girl, and he traded in for what he's going through now, I don't understand how he won that one. Your girl's out here twerking in mesh shorts. She got her booty out at the after parties. She's embarrassing you on a plane. Like, bro, you taking L after L after L. Your career ain't been the same. Your career has not been the same.
No.
You ain't lying, man.
Since she came into your life, you won your
Yeah.
Super Bowl in 2014. You got married in 2015. You ain't been the same.
Yeah, you right with that. Yeah, Russell Wilson's career done went downhill after that. It's went downhill after that, man. That's the reason why we had that show on Pablo the basketball channel, because we were discussing, what I'm saying, the problem with having these children by these other races of women is you got to protect them, because what I'm saying, the community pressure, what I'm saying, of trying to make them bow down and submit to the community and stuff. It's something that you got to protect your children from. You got to protect them.
Hey, one of the first questions I asked my girl was, "Do you want to live in America?" That was one of the first questions I asked her. "Do you want to live in America?" And she said no. I said, "Great. We can continue on. We can move forward." Because had she said yes, that thing would have been over right then and there. And you're not coming back here, because it's too easy to get poisoned here. You know what I mean? Like, even if she's not looking for it, she's gonna find it. It's just too easy here. Somebody's gonna say something. Girl, why you cook? You cook for that man every night. Why you cook? He could cook for himself. He can make his own plate. It's just everywhere. You can't escape it.
Hey man, there's a dude on YouTube. Uh, if you get a chance, go to the channel called Danica Garcia. This is a beautiful girl from the Philippines. Beautiful, man, and she married to a fat boy, a dumb brother from the States. And the minute him and her went public and they about to get married, he got so much hate from the hyena. He said, he was on the Black Filipinos channel, and the hate rolled in. The sisters called him some of everything, I mean,
They don't
under the
want no
sun.
black man happy, man. They don't want a black man happy.
You know how miserable you gotta be to look at somebody else's relationship and wish, the worst negativity on them. You got to be a
Yeah,
miserable motherfucker. Like you got to be in a bad place. If
you
you look at
sick.
somebody, yeah, exactly, Rubber Band Man. You're sick. Like if I look at a relationship, I don't care what color y'all, what races y'all are. Are y'all happy? Yes, great. You know what I mean? Like I wish y'all the best. You got to be miserable as hell to not want to wish happiness and positivity on somebody's relationship. It's weird, bro. A lot of these women, they don't make no sense.
Change your shit up. You
Fair
was supposed to
use.
stick together. Last
Fair
you
use.
got some trained bush bitch in your house. They will catch her by herself in the kitchen and throw a monkey wrench in your whole program. As soon as they get alone, they'll be like, I can't stand it. You be running behind him doing everything he tell you to do. Who you think he is? You ain't no God. You a human being. You ain't supposed to treat nobody. This house is too big for one person to be cleaned up. Why don't you leave? You always crying. Why don't you just
Fair
leave it
use.
there? Oh, you know something, girl. Do you know you can take half his money? Did you know you can take half his money? Did you know that? Did you know you entitled? He didn't tell you entitled to half? Oh, he only told you half the story then, girl. You can take half the money, the car, the house, the children, all the money he got. You can buy all the zebras and bones you want. Go back home in style, girl. You don't have to put up with this shit and get your hair done right. Cut that big afro shit off and go back home to African style. Who the hell he think he is? Let me tell you something else about Eddie Murphy. That motherfucker ain't nothing but a butt. Oh, hi, Eddie. How you doing? Oh, I didn't know you was here. You scared me. Ooh, I can't stay. I was just talking to Fufu about a couple of things.
See, that's why you don't bring them back. That's why you don't bring them back.
And that
it's
was
so
in the 80s.
crazy.
That was in the
That's
80s,
over
right?
30 years ago.
I was gonna say that's in the 80s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's over 30 years ago. Right? And that's nothing to get me about these passport hating people, right? Is once you bring her back here and hold on. And like Trey was saying earlier, Sim told me I don't want to go to the US. See, me and her had to have a talk, right? We've had to have a couple come to Jesus meetings, but we had to have a talk. And I said, and it was her brother, Shane Tom. It was her brother. And he constantly questioned me about, he loved Dr. Dre, he loved West Coast music, he loves all of this, right? And then he said, because in the USA, everything is great. In the USA, I get a job, I do this. I say, no, dude, don't do that. And Sim said, well, I just want to go and see like the Statue of Liberty because I saw it in the movie. The Golden Gate Bridge, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. The Grand Canyon, typical corny tourist shit that we talk about. But she's like, nah, you'll be a damn fool. You would be a damn fool if you brought her. You brought your woman back here. Because like, what did we say earlier? The last thing of ABW wants to see is a black man happy. And you know what? And it's so bad that it's even within most black men's families. The sisters, the aunties, you're bringing her back to an environment where she's not going to even feel welcome, where I would be willing to even say, if you took your family, if I brought my family, Sim asked about my mother. She asked about my sister. If you brought your family to where she lived, they'd be greeted with open arms. And that's absolutely crazy. So I just don't think so. Hey, Ron, I put it like this. I don't understand for the life of me. Will can just walk away, dude. You're gonna take a hit. Russell, you're gonna take a hit. But ironically, I'm gonna mention Chris Rock of all people, because Chris Rock made this joke. This well before the slap. Chris Rock said, rich people don't need prenups. He said, if I got $2 billion and she take $1 billion, I still got $1 billion. He said, but if I got $100 and she take 50, then we gonna have a problem. He said, poor people need prenups. He could just walk away because to me, I've lost all respect for Will. I don't think I could ever get it back.
And you know what, man? You know that's the same. On one of Mad Bus Driver streams. He had a brother from my home state down in Mississippi, and his wife's Filipino, and he lives in the Philippines. And they came back to the family reunion, and he's the same thing you say. He go with his wife. His cousin flew out to see him in the Philippines. Man, they doing a gala for his cousin. Treat him like one of the family. I mean, he said they treated his cousin like one of the family. You know what I'm saying? He takes his wife to his family reunion back to Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, the women in the family, boy, they just got the stank face. I'm talking about they treated her, and now the one that they didn't do was the kids. You know what I'm saying? They held off on the kids. Yeah, they held off on the kids. You know, they dialed it back on the kids. But that wife was getting the stank face. He said after that, he never went to another family reunion. He said they call him all the time. He said, nah, he's a look, he's a such and such came here to the Philippines. He said so his cousin came from his aunt, and her family treated him like a king. He got a hero's welcome. He said, I brought my wife back, and y'all treated my wife all stinking stuff. And go ahead.
You know what?
Hey, Rubber Band, I want you to share with the people that are still on. Because you said a lot better than I can. What did you say that the Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling, says is going to happen in the black community with guys marrying women overseas? And this is very deep.
All right, brother. He said two things. He was talking to Cher Sade, who is supposedly on the side of black men, but she a chameleon. All right. Cher Sade was interviewing Dennis Sperling. He said two things gonna happen. All right. He said you're gonna have some brothers that leave and don't come back. He said they're gonna say the hell with y'all. All right. He said the hell with y'all. Then he said there's gonna be a second group. He said they're gonna leave, come back with their wives because they can't financially leave right away. You know what I'm saying? But they got their game plan to exit stage right. And he said at the same time, but he said, why they here? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have children. They have children. And he said, your daughters are not going to have access to their sons. He said, those mothers are going to be very protective of their sons because they're going to tell their sons, do not bring home a black American girl. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Because he said, because this is what your father was trying to get away from.
All right, hey, Trey had to drop off, and Rubber Man, I got to get out of here too, man. I got some people coming over. Hey, man, love all you guys. Brooklyn Kid, everybody in the chat. Airborne, all my Airborne brothers, and I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Great chat. I appreciate y'all, man.